Hey, mother, welcome to the Instagram live stream. Just getting set up here on all the other streaming services here. All right, 5:45. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Let's just check a setting here, make sure we're good. Just checking the YouTube stream. There we go. All right, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Hit that thumbs up button, give us a like, say hi in the chat. We do this live stream every week, and our mission is to spread awareness of common scams. These are scams that target individuals like you and your loved ones. And that's our mission here at Scamware 101. Spread awareness of these scams. We do this live stream every Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Hey, Dave, welcome to the live stream chat. Good to see you as always. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes or so. But basically on this live stream, we cover a lot of useful scam awareness information. We're going to go over 20 different common scams that are currently circulating and active that you should be aware of. We're going to go over some red flags to help you identify and prevent the scam. We're going to share real examples of recent scams, including email scams, phone call scams, text message scams, snail mail scams. We have a lot of scam examples to share with you this evening. Because being able to recognize these scams is key. You need to recognize these scams before you lose any money to these scammers. We'll get started in about 2 minutes here. Just giving everybody a chance to join. In the meantime, while we're waiting, hit that thumbs up button, give us a like. Let's see if we get some more people in here. Say hi in the chat. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube chats, but I'll be checking in with the Facebook and Instagram chats too. I just might be a little slow to respond to you guys over there. But I'll do my best to get back to everybody who's chatting and talking. Get started in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, let me know in the chat if it's your first time joining our live stream. Let me know how you found us. Yeah, we have lots of YouTube videos available on our YouTube channel. We release videos about scam awareness. We have some webinars coming up. They can sign up for now, actually. And we have some courses that are going to be listed soon. So lots of good stuff coming up here. So make sure to follow, subscribe, hit that like button. And let's see if we get some more people in here. It's all good. You know, we're trying to spread awareness about these scams, trying to put something good out there and help the public. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, Blue Sky. We're on almost all of them. And we have a free mailing list over on scamaware101.com. You can hit join mailing list, join our free mailing list. It's a good way to get useful scam awareness tips and scam alerts that we send out. We also send out reminders about these live streams. This way you remember that they're happening. All right. Almost time to start here. Hit that thumbs up, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here and watching. We also have a preview video being released about our webinar too. That's going to get released in about 10 minutes as scheduled. Or 5 minutes. One of those. So that's going to be popping up soon. All good stuff happening here at Scamaware 101. All right, 550. Let's get this started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Jared with Scamaware 101. Our mission over here is to spread awareness about scams that target individuals like you, me, your loved ones, your friends, your family, because we're all targets of these scams. If you have a phone, you're a target. If you have an email address, you're a target, right? If you have a home address, you're a target. You know, scammers send out traditional mail as well. All important to be aware of. And what we do on this live stream, we do this weekly, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m., and we discuss over 20 different common scams that are currently circulating. We go over common red flags to help you identify and stop a scam. We share real examples of these scams, so when you're a target of these text messages or emails or voicemails even, you'll have a chance of recognizing them from this live stream and knowing right away that's a scam. Because again, being able to recognize these scams as soon as possible is key. You don't want to interact with the scammer. You don't want to engage with them. You definitely don't want to send them any money or give them any personal information. You want to be able to recognize these scams and identify them before they even begin, right? You get an email, you should be able to tell that's a scam. And that's our mission over here, is to try to make you aware of these scams. You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. You can unsubscribe at any time, but we just send out reminders, useful scam awareness tips. And also, you could support Scamaware. We'll gladly accept some donations at scamaware101.com/donate. Or we have super thanks and memberships enabled over on YouTube as well. So you could give us a super thanks or sign up for a YouTube membership. It helps support our cause. And we also have a merch store available too. It's over on our YouTube channel, and there's a link on our website over here at the bottom. This is gift shop/merch. You can help support our mission by buying some coffee mugs and other products we have here on the site too. We'll talk about those more later. But for now, let's get into it, right? You guys are here to talk about some scams and learn about some scams. So that's what we are going to do. Every week, we change the format around a little bit, try to keep it fresh for you. We change the order that we do things. And this week, we're going to start off with, we're going to jump into some common scams. Right off the bat, we're going to jump right into them. So let me know in the chat if you're psyched, if you're ready to go, you want to learn about some common scams, so protect yourself, protect your loved ones. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like, hit that thumbs up button. Give us some engagement. Let's see if we get some more people onto these live streams. Again, we're streaming on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you're watching on there, it's a great time to share. Share this live stream right now on your timeline. Get the word out. Get your friends and family in here, because we're going to go over a lot of useful information that's going to help protect them from scams. And we're going to stream for probably about 3 hours. 3 or 4 hours we usually do. So we have lots of good stuff coming up on this stream. Now, with that said, let's talk about some scams. And the first scam we're going to talk about this evening are arrest warrant scams. These arrest warrant scams are actually getting lots of media attention, because what they are is basically a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. Usually they impersonate the local police department or the sheriff's office. The scammer will claim an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. Right? So that can be scary for somebody. They get a call out of the blue. It says there's going to be a warrant issued for your arrest. A lot of times they'll say you missed jury duty. Right? That's how they'll trick the victim into thinking that there's going to be a warrant arrested. And a lot of times when these phone calls come in, the caller ID will actually show the sheriff's phone number or the police department's phone number. And that's very important to be aware of. These scammers can manipulate caller ID. So when they're calling you impersonating the sheriff's office, your caller ID might actually show a sheriff's phone number. But that doesn't mean you could trust it. And we know that's happening with these arrest warrant scams. The scammer calls up the victim. They say they're with their sheriff department. The caller ID shows the sheriff's department on the screen. And the victim thinks, oh no, I'm really going to have a warrant issued if I don't pay. And that's an important scam to be aware of. It's getting a lot of media attention right now. Lots of warnings about this scam are coming out of local police departments and sheriff's offices. We released a video on our YouTube channel about this scam specifically, and we include some additional information in there for you. Some clips of the warnings from some of the sheriff's offices, and also another warning related to this arrest warrant scam is these scammers are known to send out fake paperwork. They'll send you a fake arrest warrant to make it seem like that is one that's going to be issued. It doesn't mean you could trust it. All right. So what do you do if you get a phone call and somebody's claiming there's an arrest warrant that's going to be issued for you? All right. Well, what you should do, you ask them, the organization that issued the warrant, right? Then you hang up and call the organization directly. Don't trust whatever contact information the person on the phone gives you. Right? You got to go verify the contact information yourself, but reach out to the organization directly if you're concerned that it's real. But most sheriff's offices, I don't want to say all, but most, they're not going to be calling you over the phone to tell you about arrest warrant. They're either going to show up to your house or going to send you official paperwork. Calling you up over the phone and demanding a payment isn't something that law enforcement will do. So keep that in mind. And always remember, scammers can manipulate the phone number shown on caller ID. Very important to be aware of that. And we're going to talk about a few other scams where that comes into play. So that's our first scam of the evening. Arrest warrant scams. You get a call saying there's an arrest warrant going to be issued. Maybe you missed jury duty. Don't trust it. Always verify. Hang up. And be aware. It's a very common scam that's circulating right now. So let me know in the chat if you've encountered any of the arrest warrant scams or jury duty scam. We want to hear your stories. Hey, Linda. I see Linda over in the Facebook stream. Good to see you, Linda. Thank you for joining the live stream. Lots of good information coming up for you tonight, this evening. Make sure to hit that like button and invite some friends. I got John over there in the YouTube chat now. Awesome. Good. We got some people tonight. Good to see everybody. I'm glad you're here. And, yeah, engage. Let me know in the chat what you want to hear about. And also, so we do have an agenda here that we go through. You can see it on the screen. We're going to go over some of these common scams. But the thing that's nice about this live stream is the agenda is flexible, right? If you want to hear us talk about a specific scam or you want to share a story in the chat, do it. I have no problem switching around the agenda, talking about different scams you want to hear about. And it's pretty laid back on the live stream here. However, we do have webinars and courses where you have a more structured learning format set up for you. But on the live stream, we have fun here, So let me know what scams you want to hear about. Share your experiences, and we'll talk about them. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Of course, like, subscribe, and follow. Gotta say that. All right, so let's talk about the next scam. Bank impersonation scams. Okay, so this is an important one. And this is a extremely common one right now. And the thing about these bank impersonation scams is we're being targeted by these scammers over the phone, by phone call, through text message, right? We're getting emails from these scammers. So we're being targeted from all directions by these scammers that impersonate our bank. And this is another example of one of those scams where we know that when scammers are calling victims, a lot of times the caller ID will show the bank. It'll show the bank's phone number because the scammers are manipulating caller ID. So that's very important to be aware of. And also these bank impersonation scams, sadly, a lot of times the scammers already know what bank you use. So when they call you up to scam you or send you an email to scam you, they'll know what bank to impersonate. Right? So, and basically what these bank impersonation scams are is scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers. The caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. And we're going to talk about this scam a lot more as the live stream goes on this evening. But the thing with these bank impersonation scams, and I have an example to share with you too, this text message here. So this text message that you see on the screen is impersonating TD Bank, and it's from a scammer. And there's a story that comes along with this text message that was provided to me. This is a real example. And the story that goes along with it is that the person was actually called over the phone first. Before they received this text message, they got a phone call. And the phone showed TD Bank on the screen. It showed their bank's phone number. They didn't answer the phone call. And then immediately after not answering, they got this text message. Right? And the thing that's important to be aware about that story is the scammer targeted the victim. They targeted her over the phone first. Then when she didn't answer, they sent a text. So these scammers are persistent, right? And basically, you can see this text message. They try to impersonate the bank, and they claim suspicious activity might have happened, right? You ever get those alerts where you use your credit card and you get an alert that says, hey, did you really use your card? That's what they're trying to impersonate here. It says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. All right, but this is a scam. If the victim replies, the scammer is eventually going to try to get them on the phone, impersonating the bank, and it's going to try to convince them to move their money. That's a common theme of what happens when these scammers get you to interact. In this case, they're impersonating the bank right up front, right? They're reaching out to you, pretending to be the bank, and when you get on the phone with them, they're going to impersonate the bank, and they're going to say there's suspicious activity. But a lot of times, a scam will start differently and eventually evolves in impersonating your bank. A scam might start with the scammer claims an order was placed, and once you're on the phone, they say, oh, somebody has access to your bank accounts. You need to move your money. So a lot of times, the narrative evolves into being, your money's not safe in your bank account. But anyway, we're going to talk about that a lot more as the evening goes on here. But there's a couple red flags on this text message to actually indicate it's a scam, right? The first one is it doesn't specify an account number, right? A lot of times, if this was a real message, it would have said like the last 4 digits of the account, just to be clear which account it was referencing, right? But it's missing that. It doesn't have any indicator of which account, right? So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is the phone number it came from. A lot of text messages from the bank, they come from a short code number. I'm not sure if you ever noticed, but you'll get a message from your bank, and it'll only be from a 5-digit code. It won't be from a full, real phone number. And that's a red flag here because it came from a real phone number. If this had been from TD Bank, it would have been a short code. It would have been a 5-digit short code number it came from. So that's the second red flag. And the third red flag is the capitalization in the text message is a little off, right? The T in transaction is capitalized, which is for no reason. The N in not is capitalized for no reason, right? So there's little things off with the capitalization, which is an indicator that it's not a legit text message. That's always a red flag. When there's misspellings or the capitalization is off or the punctuation is off, it's always a good red flag that it's not legit. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, regarding these bank impersonation scams, we have a victim's story to share with you. So this is about a year ago. There was a young woman. She got scammed by these bank impersonation scammers. And it's all because she answered a trusted Wells Fargo number. She didn't realize that she couldn't trust the caller ID. In fact, she thought because the caller ID showed Wells Fargo on it, that it confirmed she was talking to her bank, which is completely false. So she said, I did everything they said to do, and they literally drained my bank account. These scammers take everything, and that's important to realize too. You have to acknowledge the threat that these scammers, they actually want to take everything you have. This isn't a case of, oh, you got tricked into spending $100 or somebody used your credit card to purchase something. They want to clear out your bank accounts. They want to clear out your savings, your checking, your retirement, everything you got, they want to take. So there's no room for error. There's no second chances after you fall for a scam. And in her case, what they did is they gave her a call, claimed to be from Wells Fargo, her bank. Caller ID showed Wells Fargo on it. They told her there was fraudulent activity on her account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. They told her to go into her account and that she needed to secure her Zelle by sending money that would go back into the account. So that's the narrative and trick they used to get her to transfer them her money. Which, by the way, Zelle is a red flag. If you hear some stranger over the phone telling you to send money using Zelle, that's a red flag. We know that scammers prefer Zelle as a form of payment because it's harder to get the funds recovered. So anyway, that's what's going on with these bank impersonation scams. And they impersonate anybody. In this example, they impersonated Wells Fargo. In the example I just shared, the text message example, they impersonated TD Bank. So just like the other scams we talked about earlier. You know, if you get a phone call or somebody reaches out to you claiming to be your bank, you got to hang up and verify. You know, if you're concerned that it's real, you got to hang up and reach out directly to your bank. You know, call the number on the back of your debit card, you know, and reach out directly to your bank. So important to be aware of those bank impersonation scams. Let me know in the chat, like all these other scams, if you've been targeted by these, if you've received any examples of these scams that we're talking about here. You know, we want to hear your stories. And make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, follow. We need all the help we can get spreading awareness about these scams. You know, we pretty much rely on your likes and your follows to help spread awareness. So. Next scam we're going to talk about is tech support scams. So before we start talking about these tech support scams, just want to welcome new viewers. I see a few more people on the viewing count going up. So welcome to the live stream. We're just going over common scams to be aware of. These scams target you, your loved ones, your friends, your family. We focus on scams that target individuals, all right? Because there's a lot of resources out there for businesses and employees. There's a lot of employee training, and the companies are protecting their data and their funds. But for ordinary people, regular folks, you know, there's not many resources out there. So that's why we do this live stream as one of the many ways that we try to spread awareness about these scams and get the word out there. These tech support scams, a lot of older folks end up being the victims of these tech support scams. So these are definitely important to be aware of, and you should let your older family members know about this one too. But how these tech support scams work is usually victims receive a fake virus alert on their device, and they're tricked into calling a fake tech support number. The victim is actually unknowingly connected to a scammer, and then the scammer requests access to their device. You never want to let a scammer on your device because it's like a gold mine to them. We'll talk about that more later. But the thing about these tech support scams is everybody is susceptible to these tech support scams, because what happens is whether you're on your iPhone or your Windows desktop, right, or your MacBook, it doesn't matter. If you're browsing the internet, you can get one of these fake pop-ups, right? And the fake pop-up says, you're infected, call this number. It's a very common scam, and they can be scary. And we have some examples of these pop-ups that I'm going to share with you right now. And some of these examples are pretty convincing. So this first example here, this one impersonates McAfee antivirus. It has their logo, it has their colors. It looks pretty legit, right? So if someone's not too computer savvy or maybe gets scared easily, they get a pop-up like this. They're going to call that phone number. But if they call that number, it's going to connect them to a scammer. And that's how this scam works. They're impersonating all different antivirus companies. Sometimes, in the examples I'm sharing here, they're pop-ups, and they trick the user into calling the scammer. But sometimes scammers will call the victim directly over the phone and say, hey, I'm with Microsoft, and we got an alert that you have a virus. You know, they might say something like that too. When it comes to tech support scams, you should never let anybody onto your device that you don't know, right? You should have your own tech support person that you always deal with if something goes wrong. So if you get one of these pop-ups, you shouldn't call this number. It shouldn't even cross your mind to call this number. If anything, reach out to your tech support person. But let me show you a couple more examples of these fake virus alerts that you use in tech support scams. Here's one that impersonates Norton by Symantec. Right? Threats detected, call support, system critically infected. It's got a warning at the bottom. Your hard drive may fail. So that can be scary, but if somebody calls that number, they're letting a scammer in. So it's important to be aware of this one. And again, everybody's susceptible to these. One of the giveaways is if this was a real virus alert, it wouldn't have had a number to call. You know, the antivirus companies, they don't want you calling them. So they don't put a number to call whenever there's a virus alert. So if you see a phone number shown on these alerts, it's a big red flag that's fake. Don't trust it. Don't call a number. This example on my screen right now, it impersonates Windows Defender. And it's convincing, right? It's got the Windows logo, the colors, the Windows Defender logo, and then threat detected. And it says contact Windows support. But if you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. That's how a scam works. So if you get pop-ups like these, don't trust them. And again, if they have a phone number, that's how you know that they're 100% fake. Let me know in the chat if you've seen these pop-ups before, if you've been ever targeted by this type of scam. It's very common. I get them. I get these pop-ups. Let me share a couple more examples. I mentioned that everybody's susceptible to this type of scam, right? So even Mac users and iPhone users. Dave, actually, I'm pretty sure you sent me an example of one of the pop-ups you received. Ooh, by the way, I gotta save that, and I'm gonna add that to these examples. We'll use them. I'll use that one next week in the live stream too. But you got it on your phone, right? So everybody's susceptible to this type of scam. And the example I'm showing on my screen right now, big red letters, virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. And it lists all these scary things. Your credit card details are at risk, email password, private photos. All scary stuff. But if you call that number, it's a scam. You can connect to a scammer. Here's another one. Impersonates Apple Care. Please call Apple support. But that's not Apple support. It's a scam. And again, the big red flag is that it has a number to call. Real virus alerts don't have a phone number to call. We got one more example. Call Apple Helpline. It has Apple logo. Right, but if you call, you can connect to a scammer. They try to make these scary. That's how it works. Scammers rely on fear to try and trick victims into reacting quickly. And this is an example of how they could use fear, right? You get this pop-up out of nowhere, big letters, warning, you're infected, right? There's been examples of these alerts where they'll block off your whole screen, and it'll actually play a loop, a sound on loop out of your speakers where it's like, warning, you're infected, call number. Warning, you're infected, call number. It's pretty obnoxious, but it can be scary. Don't call the number. It's a scam. So again, that's how those tech support scams work. They try to trick you into calling a fake tech support number, and you're actually dealing with a scammer. And we had this report from a victim too. They said in their case, their computer stated it was hacked, and they called Microsoft Tech Line. He called the number, which was a scammer, and he was informed his computer was used for illegal activity, and that and they had to pay a fine of $5,000. So that's an interesting narrative that they tried to trick him with. They told him time was running out. You have to handle it ASAP. Don't tell anybody what's going on. That's always a red flag. They're requesting secrecy. And then they told him to go to Sephora and purchase gift cards, which is always a red flag too. We're going to talk about those gift cards a lot later. But yeah, so watch out for these tech support scams. We did a video about this scam a while ago. It's on our YouTube channel where we share a whole bunch of examples, and we dive in a little bit more detail about this one. So definitely check it out. Share it with your loved ones. Make sure they're aware of these tech support scams. How we all doing out there this evening? Let me know you're watching in the chat. Say hi. Let me know how you found us, and share your stories. Want to hear what scams you're encountering? Maybe you know someone who's falling for scams, has been tricked. You want to hear it. Make sure to hit that like button. And still plenty of time to share this live stream. We'll be going for a few hours this evening. So lots of good stuff still coming up around the live stream. So let's keep going. So we just talked about tech support scams. This next scam we're going to talk about is road toll scams. This one's been crazy for the past year, at least. It's been obnoxious. So many text messages going out that say you have a road toll, unpaid road toll due, or a traffic ticket that needs to be paid. And you get these text messages, and they impersonate all these different departments, right? They'll impersonate SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, Drive Easy Maryland, Easy Drive Massachusetts, Fast Track, and that's just to name a few. A lot of times they'll impersonate the DMV, right? Department of Motor Vehicles or Department of Transportation. And you get these text messages that claim you have an unpaid toll that you have to pay, and it'll include a link supposedly to pay it. But that's how the scam works, is if you click that link, it takes you to a fake website. Let me show you some examples of these text messages. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd in order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action on statements. Thank you for your cooperation. I wish you a pleasant holiday. And they have the link to the fake website. Also, notice at the bottom of this example, it has this instruction that says, please reply yes, then exit and reopen the message. That's a red flag. That's a big red flag. Scammers include that on their text messages because they want you to reply. You know, that notifies them that you read it and you're responsive, right? And so they'll target you more. But also it activates the links. It makes them easier to click on. So scammers will include this instruction a lot of times at the end of their scam text messages. And I'll point that out a few more times in other examples that we show you this evening. But let's continue with some more examples of these unpaid toll scams. So here's this one impersonates Easy Drive, Massachusetts. You can tell it came from a number in the Philippines. The phone number is from outside the U.S., which is also a red flag. But not every text comes from outside the U.S., though. There's been plenty of examples of this one that has come from U.S. phone numbers. You can see this one. It says Easy Drive, Massachusetts reminder. Your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. It's got the link to the fake website. And you see there's that instruction at the end too. Please reply yes and reopen the message. So that's always a red flag. And look, there's so many variations of this scam. Your vehicle has an unpaid toll bill. To avoid excessive late fees on your bill, please settle it promptly. Thank you for your cooperation. There's a link to the fake website. There's even been examples where the text message comes in. Seeing this one's from inside the U.S., right? And the text message comes in, only has an attachment, which, by the way, never open attachments that you weren't expecting, from unsolicited sources. Whether it's an email or a text message, if you weren't expecting an attachment, don't open it. Because we're going to open it for you. So in this attachment, it's actually a PDF file, and you can see this long letter about a toll violation. And it has a Pay Now link, which will take you to the fake website. So if you clicked one of these fake links to pay the toll, it'll take you to a realistic looking website. Like here's an example of a fake website is impersonating Washington State's Good to Go. That's their toll service over Washington State. All right, so if you got that text, you click the link, it'll take you to this legit looking website. It's got the logo, the colors, but it's a scam. You click payment, and they're going to steal any information that you enter here. Your credit card number and all that. So if you get any text messages claiming that you have an unpaid road toll due or a traffic ticket due, don't click the links. Don't call the phone numbers. Don't trust it at all. If you're concerned that it's real, look up the official phone number of whoever they're impersonating and confirm that way. But don't click the links and don't trust any text messages claiming you have an unpaid road toll due or traffic ticket due. This one's a popular one. Also, it picks up during the holidays, right? So we're going to be seeing this one a lot more as the holidays start approaching. Because of holiday travel, scammers know that people are traveling. And they're more likely to think, oh, I must have missed a toll, and they'll fall for the scam. So important to be aware of that one, these unpaid road toll scams. Again, let me know in the chat if you've been a target of these text messages. I get them all the time. People report them to me constantly. So, let me know. Let me know if you've been getting them too. Share your stories. Let us know you're watching, how you found us, and make sure to hit that like and follow button. Help us out. Help us get the word out about these scams. Now, it takes a community. It really does. Next scam we're going to talk about. Wrong number scams. You ever wonder why you get so many text messages that end up being from a wrong number? It's because it's a common scam. All right, this is how scammers reach new victims. They just send out a whole bunch of random text messages. And when people reply, they try to engage them and become friends with them and scam them. All right, so scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. You hear about these pig butchering scams and romance scams, and this is a common way that they get started. They get started with a wrong number text message. And the thing about these wrong number text messages is they could start in any way, right? It could just be a random text message that says, "Excuse me, is this Emma?" Or it could be a random text message that says, "Hey, Anna, I'm Josie," right? Or it could be, "Hi." The text message just says "Hi" from an unknown number, right? Because a scammer, they want you to reply, right? So I think a lot of us want to be considerate and we want to just say, "Sorry, wrong number," or "Do I know you?" Right? And that's what the scammer is counting on. That's what they're relying on. So honestly, I don't reply. I don't reply to text messages. Even if they seem like it's a legit wrong number, I don't reply. Because if you reply, you're letting them know that you're an active number and to target you more. Right? If they really legitimately got a wrong phone number, they'll figure it out. It's not worth engaging with a scammer. But let me show you some examples of how these wrong number text messages might go. Okay, so this one starts out with a random message. "I'm Margaret, are you Lillian?" Right? A person replies back, "I'm Izzy." Then the scammer goes, "I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number. I hope I didn't disturb your good day." The person replies back, "That's okay." Right? At that point, the conversation should be over. It's been established as a wrong number. There's no reason to continue going. But because it's a scam, the scammer is going to continue and they're going to try to gather information about the person. Right? "Thank you for understanding your patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age?" Right? So they're going to ask your age. They're going to ask your location. They're going to ask if you're married, if you're employed. Here's another example. Starts off with, "Have a cup of coffee together sometime." Right? And the person replies back, "Who is this?" They don't know who it is. Who's right? And the scammer replies. They give their whole story. "Oh, it's not my friend Lauren. I'm Zoe." Right? And the person replies, "Yeah, wrong number." Again, at that point, the conversation should be over. It's established the wrong number. But the scammer continues. "I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number or area code. I hope I'm not bothering you." "Nah, you're good. Have a great day." Again, conversation should be over. Right? "Thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from?" Right? So this one starts by asking where you're from. And that's what they do. They try to get a conversation going with a stranger and befriending them. And it works. It works. A lot of these pig butchering scams and romance scams is how they get started. So it's important to be aware of them. We have another example to share with you here. Again, let me know if you've received any of these text messages or experienced this. We're getting a lot of comments on the video that we did about these types of scams, and a lot of people are reporting, getting these wrong number scams. Here's another example. Right, this one just started with "Hi." Right, I reply back, "Hi, who's this?" And they go into their whole narrative. "I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party." Right, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number." Right, at that point, it should end, but it's a scam, so it's not going to end. They reply back, "Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you." "Thanks, it's okay, no problem." Right, again, conversation should be over with. The scammer continues. "Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you?" Right, and we reply back pat, because it could be a guy or a girl if we would try and confuse a scammer. But reply comes, "You have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live?" Right, so in this case, they start off by asking where you live. Right, they ask what your name is and where you live. So in all the examples I just showed you, they ask where you live, they ask your name, they ask your age. Right, and eventually, they try to build up a friendship and scam you. Got one more example of these wrong number scams to share with you here. In this example, they included a picture. And this is actually becoming more common. The last few wrong number scams I've received included a picture by default now. So this is starting to be more common where they just include a picture as, it's in a sense, they're trying to incentivize, replies. It's always a picture of an attractive woman, right? So they're just trying to get some kind of response from people. And also this kind of helps set up the romance scam and pig butchering scam portion of it, right? They send you a picture of an attractive woman and they're already trying to set up, a romance scam or a pig butchering scam. So, if you get a text message like this, "Hi Byron, I'm Jane," right? It's got a picture attached. It's not your lucky day. It's a scam. Also, something to keep in mind with this example here is you can see we didn't reply. The text message came in at 1:58 p.m. We didn't reply. 4 hours later on the dot at 5:58 p.m., right, we get a follow-up text. "Have you gotten the pictures I sent?" So there's a few important things to note about this. This is a bot. This isn't a real person. This isn't somebody sitting here sending out text messages with pictures and people and following up in 4 hours. This is a bot. It's sending out the same message to thousands and thousands of phone numbers, right? And then when there's no reply, 4 hours later, it sends a follow-up text, right? It's all automated. It's all a bot. Eventually, a real scammer will start interacting with you if you talk long enough to the bot and the bot gathers your information. But starting off, it's a bot. You're getting these text messages, same text messages that thousands of other people are getting. It's all part of the scam. We actually released a video about these wrong number scams where we shared all the same examples that we just did now. And we actually got over 100,000 views on that video. It was our first video to hit over 100,000 views, which was amazing. But it got a lot of comments too. And there were many comments saying, we got the exact same text message, exact same picture, right? So it's happening. Be aware of it. Be aware of these wrong number scams. Look, the best thing you could do is not even reply. Even if it seems like it's a legit wrong number, it's just not worth it. It's not worth replying. Because you reply, then they know your number's active. Just going to target you more. So don't do it. It's not worth it. It's important to be aware of these wrong number scams. So what are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you ever received these wrong number text messages. Super important to be aware of. And that's the first batch of scams that we were going to talk about this evening. We got 15 more we're going to talk about, though. So plenty more scams that we're going to go over this evening. So keep watching, keep staying tuned, like, share, get some more people in here. Still lots of useful information coming up. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101, and our mission is to spread awareness about these scams that target individuals like you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. So it's important to be aware of these scams so you can protect yourself and protect your loved ones from them. And that's our mission. And that's why we do this live stream every week. That's why we share examples of these scams and make you aware of what scams are circulating so you can protect yourself. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We need all the help we could get spreading awareness of these scams. And we just talked about 5 common scams. Now we're going to go into some red flags. They're going to help you spot and identify these scams when you're a target. So make sure to hit that like button. You join our free mailing list at scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you reminders when we're going live and some other useful scam awareness tips and alerts to help you keep up to date with scam trends. If you want to help out financially, we take donations too. Go to scamaware101.com/donate. And we have super thanks enabled over on YouTube. Super thanks and memberships. If you want to throw us a couple bucks, we always appreciate it. But we're happy with just getting the likes and followers, subscribers. And we just appreciate helping us spread awareness of these scams. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about some common red flags to be aware of. Let's bring up the slides here. I mentioned this earlier too. The agenda that we're going over this evening is flexible. You want me to talk about other scams or share stories, we could do that. So interact in the chat, let me know, and if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. If you need advice or tips, I'm happy to see what I could do for you. But anyway, let's talk about some red flags that indicate you might be talking to a scammer. Again, we did a video about this too. So all the slides that we're about ready to share, we have a video about this. You can find our YouTube channel. You can share it with your loved ones. So let's talk about red flag number 1. Right? They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. In the examples we just shared about that wrong number scam, a lot of times it'll evolve to this. They'll start the scam with a text message, and then as they're talking to you, they'll say, hey, let's continue this conversation on WhatsApp. And that's always a red flag. So scammers like to use these third-party chat apps because it's easier for them to communicate with victims in other countries. And it also offers them more anonymity to hide behind. Right? So whenever a stranger is telling you to continue talking to them on Telegram or WhatsApp, it should be a red flag. Right? Reanalyze what's going on. And some examples of scams where that's part of the playbook to invite the victim to Telegram or WhatsApp is romance scams. These scammers, they create these fake dating profiles to lure in new victims, and they direct them to talk on WhatsApp. Right? There's a red flag. Wrong number scams. So I just showed you all those examples of wrong number scams. Eventually, they're going to ask you to continue talking on WhatsApp. Investment scams. A lot of times, they'll direct victims to a Telegram or a WhatsApp group. And in that group, there'll be bots and other scammers trying to pump up the investment, trying to make it appear legit. But it's all part of the scam. So it's a big red flag if somebody's trying to get you to continue talking over on Telegram and WhatsApp. You know, a stranger that you just met and somebody that reached out to you. That's red flag number 1. As we go through these red flags, let me know in the chat if you encountered these, right? If you know someone that's encountered these. We talk about these red flags because they're important. You hear these victims' stories, and a lot of times the red flags we're discussing here, they pop up. It's just the victim wasn't aware of them, right? So being aware of these red flags could help you stop scams, and really a lot of them might be your last chance to stop the scam. Like red flag number 2 here. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, or cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? Scammers love getting paid in these unusual forms of payment because it's easier for them to move the funds quickly, right? And it's also harder for victims to recover the funds. Right? If a victim purchases gift cards and sends them to the scammer or deposits money in a Bitcoin ATM, it's very hard to get those funds back. Once they're sent, they're sent. Once they're gone, they're gone. So when a scammer or someone you're talking to tells you to go purchase gift cards, cryptocurrency, be aware it could be a scam. And some examples where that's part of the playbook, a lot of scams, but some examples, IRS and Social Security scams. Right? Scammers impersonate government agencies. And when they're reaching out to you, claiming to be from the IRS or Social Security, or maybe even investigating fraud, they'll claim they're from the CIA or FBI investigating fraud, right? But they'll tell you to withdraw your money to purchase gift cards. And what's important to recognize is that the government does not accept gift cards or cryptocurrency. All right, so in the future, they might accept cryptocurrency, but they don't right now. So if anybody's calling you up claiming to be a government agency and telling you to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam, 100%. And that's important to be aware of. Because so many of these scams, they close out with the victim being tricked into purchasing gift cards or depositing money at a Bitcoin ATM. And once they do that, it's game over. They're not getting those funds back. Romance scams. A lot of times these scammers, they'll request gift cards or cryptocurrency from the victim. The victim thinks they're just sending gift cards to someone they're in a long-distance relationship with. And or they're depositing cryptocurrency into a shared account for each other. Right? But they don't have access to the account. They don't know what they're doing. And the scammer knows that once they receive the gift card, once they receive the cryptocurrency, the victim's not going to be able to get it back. That's why they request, gifts in these types of payment forms. Bank impersonation scams, right? The victims are tricked into withdrawing cash from the bank, and then they're told to purchase gift cards or deposit at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? It's very common. We talked about bank impersonation scams. It was one of the first scams we talked about when we kicked off this live stream today. It usually ends up with them telling you that your money's not safe and you need to withdraw it, and they tell you to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency. Something we're starting to see more recently is they're actually telling victims to purchase gold. So that's something to be aware of too now. But anyway, That's red flag number 2. If they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM, red flags. Red flags all day. Next red flag we're going to talk about here. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. This is actually a really common scam. We see it a lot on marketplace type websites like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times the scammer will impersonate a buyer or seller, and they'll say that they want to confirm your phone number is real. That's what they'll say. And they'll say they're going to send a code to your phone, but it's actually a scam. What's really happening is they're trying to open an account attached to your phone number. They're trying to log into one of your accounts attached to your phone number, or they might be trying to reset your password. And by providing that code back to them, you're allowing them to do that. So let's talk about that a little bit more. All right, where that's part of the playbook is they might be trying to log into one of your accounts, and you're getting this code as a warning, saying if this isn't you, like ignore this. If this isn't you, don't give the code to anybody. But if you get that code, you're letting them log into your account. Right? Password reset requests. Scammers trying to reset one of your passwords so they can access your account. You get the code to your phone as a security measure. If you provide it back to the scammer, you just let them reset your password and get into your accounts. And then there's Google Voice scams. And this is an interesting one. This is when scammers, they want to create a Google Voice account because they get a free phone number with it, but they need to use someone's phone number to register an account. They could only use it once. So what they're trying to do is they try to create these fraudulent Google Voice accounts that are linked to your phone. But to do that, they need a code that's sent to your phone. All right, so they tell you they're just trying to verify your phone number. You provide that code back to them. You're letting them create a fraudulent account that's linked to your phone. And then they use that account to defraud more people. So there's always a big red flag. If somebody asks you to provide a code that's sent to your phone, don't trust it. There's never any reason to give an individual a phone or a code that's sent to your phone. Be suspicious if somebody says they're going to send a code to your phone. And that's red flag number 3 to be aware of. And again, we did videos with all these examples in it too, a red flag video. So you can find these examples, share it with a friend. Very important to be aware of these. You hear these victim stories, and most of the times these red flags come up and they just didn't recognize them. Red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. We gave an example of that when we were talking about tech support scams. Right? A pop-up tricks you into calling a fake tech support number, then the scammer tries to access your PC. Scammers want to get access to your device. They love to get access to your device because to them, it's a gold mine. Once they're on your device, they can steal your logins. Like if you have saved logins, a lot of times they can extract those logins and passwords. Right? They could steal your files, encrypt your files, hold them for ransom, blackmail you. They could attempt to access your online banking websites from your computer or your device, or any financial documents you might have on your device. All right. So, and then once they get on your device, you never know what they did or what they installed. A lot of times, once they're on your device, they'll make it so they can access it whenever they want. You don't even have to be there anymore. So you never want to let a stranger onto your device. And some scams where that's part of the playbook, where they try to get onto your device. Those fake virus alert and tech support scams that we talked about, right? They impersonate tech support, pretending to help you with a fake virus, all right? But that's all just to gain access to your device. Don't trust it. Fake order scams. They'll impersonate customer service. They'll trick you into calling a lot of times because you get a fake order notification. We'll talk about that scam in a little bit. And once they're on the phone with you, they say, hey, let me connect to your computer and see. We'll check your accounts and see what you say. Scam. They're just trying to get onto your device. And there's the fake fraudulent activity scam that we talked about. Right? You're contacted by an agency or a bank, supposedly, and they say they're investigating fraud. But it's really a scammer. And a lot of times they'll say, hey, let's connect your device and you can log into your bank accounts. I'll see if there's any suspicious activity. But what the victim doesn't realize, they let the scammer onto their computer and they're opening up their bank account websites. They're giving access to the scammer to all their bank account websites. So don't let a stranger onto your device. I mentioned this earlier, and really what it comes down to is everybody should have their own tech support person, right? Like when you have problems with your computer and your devices, you should have that person in mind who you're going to call already, right? It might be that family member. That's good with computers. It might be the tech support people at your job. It might be the computer shop, the local computer shop down the street. But whoever it is, those people are the only ones you should let onto your device to troubleshoot it. You shouldn't trust phone numbers that just pop up saying there's a problem in the call, right? Be very careful letting customer support people onto your device. You really want to keep everybody off, right? It's not worth letting a scammer on. So only let trusted people that you know onto your device. And always have that person in mind. This way, if something happens, you get that fake virus alert pop up, or someone tells you there's fraudulent activity. Instead of letting them onto your device, reach out to your computer guy or computer person. Chances are they're familiar with the scam already. All right, so that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect your PC or device to assist or troubleshoot an issue. And then we have red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. It's extremely common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. We're going to see that in a lot more examples that I share with you this evening. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. Because the more you talk to people, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. So a lot of times these scammers, they'll give you some excuse or some reason why you're supposed to keep it quiet or not tell anybody, keep it confidential. But that's all part of their scam. And it should be considered a red flag as well. And some examples where that's part of the playbook, part of the scam playbook, to ask you for secrecy or confidentiality. Grandparent scams. It's when they say a relative or son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter has been arrested, right, and they need to send money to help them out. And a lot of times what the scammer does, they'll say that your relative is embarrassed and they ask you not to tell anybody. But that's really just their way to try and trick you into keeping quiet. Investment scams, they'll tell you they have an inside tip and not to share it with anybody, or a price that's just for you. Don't tell anyone. But it's part of scam. They just don't want you to talk to people and realize you're getting scammed. Inheritance scams, right? You'll receive a letter in the mail impersonating a law office that says you're entitled to an inheritance, and the letter will request confidentiality. We actually have an example of one of those letters we're going to share with you later on in the live stream when we talk about snail mail scams, because that's coming up. And then again, the fake fraudulent activity scam, where they call you up, they impersonate the bank or an agency investigating fraud, right? But they'll tell you to keep the matter confidential and secret. A lot of times they'll say the bank could be involved, the teller could be involved with the fraud, so don't tell them, what's going on. But really what's happening is they're keeping the victim quiet while they lose their money, while their money gets stolen. So that's red flag number 5. They request you to keep the matter confidential or secret. It's always a red flag. When it comes down to it, who are they to tell you, to keep quiet about an investment or an inheritance, right? That's up to you. It's not up to them. So watch out for those red flags. Very common. We hear a lot of times we hear about them in victim stories. And really recognizing these red flags could be what makes a difference, whether you fall for the scam or not. You all agree? Let me know in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Are you with me here? Does this all make sense? Let me know if I'm not being clear enough or you need me to elaborate on anything. Again, the whole point of this live stream is spreading awareness. That's our mission here at Scamware 101. So, again, you can help us out by hitting that like button, hitting that heart, sharing, engaging in the chat, leaving a comment. It all helps the algorithm show our scam awareness content to new people. So let's review those 5 red flags in case you just joined us midway through. And again, we have a video that covers these 5 red flags we discussed, all the slides that we just shared. So you go find this video on our YouTube channel. And those 5 red flags are, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. That's red flag number 1. We know that scammers like to use these third-party chat apps. And if a stranger is redirecting you to use something like Telegram or WhatsApp, it's a red flag. Red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Always red flags. We know that scammers like receiving those forms of payment because it's much harder for the victim to retrieve it or recover it once it's gone. So never trust strangers telling you to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency. Red flag number 3, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Again, it's a very common scam. If someone's sending you a code to your phone and asking you to give it back, They're probably trying to do something shady. They're probably trying to log into one of your accounts or create an account that's linked to your phone. So don't trust it. If an individual is saying they're going to send a code to your phone, don't trust it. It's probably a scam. Red flag number 4, they request to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Your PC or device. Again, scammers love to get access to your devices. It's a gold mine to them. And you never want to let a scammer onto your device. Because again, once they get on too, they'll install software that lets them get on whenever they want. So avoid it by not letting them on in the first place. Only let trusted people onto your computer or device. And red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Again, extremely common for scammers to ask you to keep quiet and not share what's going on with anybody. But the reality is they just don't want you to talk to people about it. They know the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. So it's always a red flag if someone's trying to tell you to keep the matter confidential or secret and not to talk to anybody. So be aware of those 5 red flags. I'm telling you, they can make all the difference. Go find the video on our YouTube channel, share it with your friends and loved ones. It's really important that they recognize these red flags. Hey, leave me a comment or in the chat. Let me know any other red flags to watch out for too. I want to hear from you. All right, how we all doing this evening? We've been live streaming for just past an hour right now. We're just at the 1 hour mark. Still got a good 2 hours left to go. So plenty more still coming up. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared, Scamware 101. And our mission over here at Scamware 101 is to spread awareness of these common scams that target individuals. Individuals like you, me, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Because there's plenty of resources out there for businesses and employment and companies, but for individuals, not so much. So it's not right that grandma's getting scammed out of a retirement fund. You're getting scammed out of your inheritance. And it's no good. It's not right that these scammers should be getting away with that. So we believe that knowledge is your best defense against scams. And in support of that, we try to spread awareness of these scams and help you prevent, from becoming another victim. So scam awareness is important, extremely essential if you want to avoid losing money to these scammers. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Let's get some more people in this live stream. We'll be going for at least another 2 hours. So we have about 15 more types of scams that we're going to talk about and show you examples of this evening. Coming up next, we got grandparent scams, fake order scams, undeliverable package scams, fake retail website scams. And these are important to be aware of. They're going to start picking up over the next few months as the holidays start approaching. So lots of good stuff coming up. So if you haven't clicked like yet, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet or followed, hit subscribe, hit follow. We usually take 2 quick coffee breaks during this live stream. I got to stay caffeinated and on top of my game for the viewers here. You get a Scamware 101 coffee mug. A few other merchandise items we have available in our online store, our YouTube channel. So you can help support our mission by scooping up a coffee mug, mouse pad, some stickers, all useful stuff here on our website. Scroll to the bottom, click gift, shop, and merch. Or it's on our YouTube store too. We just have some fun scam awareness items here. And the idea is you keep these on your desk as a reminder not to get scammed, right? We have the mouse pads there. We have the coffee mugs, the water bottles, right? And you have these things on your desk. So just as you're about ready to fall for a scam, you take a sip out of your coffee mug and you remember, wait a minute, scam aware. So scoop up some products, help support help support our mission and spread awareness. You can also donate. Scamware101.com/donate. We'll take them. We'll take any donations and super thanks, memberships on YouTube. They all go to spreading awareness and helping support our mission here. So we'll take it. All right, so this is the portion. We're going to take our quick first 5-minute coffee break. Still a great time to like and share this live stream. We got at least 2 more hours of excellent scam awareness content coming up. So hit that like button. Let's get some more people in there. Let's get some reactions. Let me know what you want to hear about in the chat. And we're going to continue in 5 minutes. All right, everybody. Talk to you in 5 minutes. Stay tuned. I bet. All right. Skimware 101 travel mug is refilled. Gotta stay caffeinated for everybody. Welcome back. We're about 1 hour into our live stream here. We'll go for another 2 hours or so. So if you're just joining, it's a good time to join. Plenty of good stuff coming up. If it's your first time attending one of these live streams, I'm Jared. I'm with Scamware 101, founder of Scamware 101. And our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals just like you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. All important stuff to be aware of. And a lot of times there are no second chances. If you send your money to a scammer, first of all, they're going to try to take all your money. And then once they have it, it's very hard to get it back. So it's very important to be aware of these scams and stop them before it's too late. To recognize these scams before it's too late. And that's our entire mission over here, is just to spread awareness so you are able to recognize these scams before it's too late. And look, it's more important than ever to be aware of this stuff. Scammers are using AI to become more convincing, right? They're using AI to rewrite their scam emails, their scam text messages. They're using AI to generate realistic sounding voices and friendly sounding voices to leave voicemails and to call people, right? So AI is making these scams much more convincing. And look, the scammers are winning. They're winning, right? They're making so much money, and they're scamming so many people, and they're winning, right? And really, the only way that we're going to stop them is being aware and having the knowledge to defend yourself, right? So that's what we're here to do. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We're on all your favorite social media platforms, right? We're streaming live right now on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So you can watch on your preferred platform. We're going to be going for at least another 2 hours. So hit that like button. Let's get some more people in a live stream here. Say hi in the chat as we go through these scams. Let me know if you've experienced them. Share your stories, right? If you have questions, ask. It's we could pivot on this live stream and change the topics around. Nothing's set in stone on the live stream here. So let me know what you want to talk about. And if you have questions, let me know in the chat. I'll do my best to get back to you. All right. Well, let's keep going here. We're going to talk about some more common scams. So like I said, on this live stream, we talk about 20 different common scams to be aware of. And right now, I think we're on scam number 6. And that scam is grandparent scams. And the thing about these grandparent scams is that, everybody should be angry and aggravated about these grandparent scams. And the reason why is these grandparent scams are literally, they're called grandparent scams because they're targeting your grandparents. They're literally targeting your grandparents. And for the grandparents that are listening out there right now, they're using your kids and your loved ones to trick you, right? So everybody should be kind of outraged about this scam. It's targeting your loved ones. It's using your loved ones. And basically what happens is these scammers, they call up the grandparent or the parent, right? And they'll impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Right? Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I would recognize if it was my loved one that was calling me. All right, I would know. But we actually have a video here to show you. And it's actually pretty convincing. So we're going to take a look at this video. And maybe you'll understand why so many people fall for this and why so many people think that's actually their grandchild that's in trouble and needs help. So the video I'm going to show you here it's actually a recording from a scammer's webcam. So one of these scam baiters, these YouTube scam baiters that waste the scammer's time, or sometimes they hack into the scammer's computer, right? In this case, this scammer is in the Dominican Republic. And what he is he's an opener of a grandparent scam. That means that he's the one that initially contacts victims and opens the scam, right? So basically, the scam baiter, he goes by the name Scam Sandwich on YouTube. And you can go find the whole video on his YouTube channel. I just have a short clip here as an example. But basically, he hacked into the scammer's webcam and he recorded the scammer as he did a grandparent scam, or as he attempted a grandparent scam. So you could actually see, what's going on behind the scenes, what these scammers are doing. So in this video, you're going to see the scammer calls the victim, impersonates the loved one, then impersonates a police officer, and says, stand by and we're going to call you back, to discuss payment, right? That's why he's known as an opener. He calls up the victim, he initiates the scam, and he gets him hooked. Then he hands it off to closers, who then, they're the ones that go take the money from the victim. So we're going to watch the opener, right now. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this video once you see it. Because you notice the first 20 seconds is when he impersonates the loved one. And it can be very convincing because he impersonates a loved one in distress. So anyway, I'll stop talking. I'll let the video do the talking for me here.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next.
So that was the opener of a grandparent scam. And you can see how he reaches out to the victim. And for the first 20 seconds, he just sounds like a very distressed, crying relative. Honestly, it could be anybody's child, right? That's why the victim falls for it, because it could sound like anybody's distressed child crying, right? And then after 15, 20 seconds, the scammer immediately starts impersonating a police officer. It's kind of like, okay, you spoke with your daughter. You believe you spoke with your daughter. Now he's impersonating a police officer. It goes into that whole story about an accident and your loved one needs help, right? And it's fascinating because when he goes to impersonate the police officer, you can see that you start hearing the police scanners in the background. So he's playing recordings of police in the background that seem more realistic. And then there was the request for secrecy at the end, right? Where he says she's embarrassed and requested that you not tell anybody about this. So let's respect her wishes, right? That's all part of the scam. They're just trying to trick the victim into not speaking to anybody about this. And he also tells the victim, I confiscated her phone, right? Because that's just to make the victim think, well, I won't try calling because the phone's confiscated, right? Where in reality, if she calls her daughter, she'll find out right away it's a scam. So it's a fascinating peek behind the curtain of what these scammers are doing. And I hope after watching that clip, you could see how it could be more convincing than you originally thought, right? Because I could definitely see how someone could be convinced, by this, that they spoke to their daughter and that now you're talking to a cop, right? And you got to remember, these scammers, they do it for a living. They do this all day long. They're professionals. They know how to answer people's questions and responses, right? And the thing about this scam, so what happens next, right? So we watched the opener, and it gets left off as, okay, so stand by your phone. We'll be reaching back out to you. This is when it gets especially ruthless, right? So the scammers that reach back out to her, their mission is to take everything she has, right? And now she thinks that her loved one's in jail and she has to help them and get them out and all this, right? So, and these scammers know that. They're going to take full advantage. They're going to try to clear the victim out. So what they do is they call back and first they impersonate defense attorneys that you got to pay. Then they impersonate police officers that you got to pay. And then they impersonate court personnel that you got to pay. They just keep calling back and impersonating a different agency until the victim has nothing left to pay, right? And that's what these scammers do. They're ruthless. They want to take everything you have, and in this case, they want to take your grandparents' money. They want to take their life savings. They want to take their retirement fund. Look, they don't care if your grandparents are veterans, right? They don't care. They want to take their money. They don't care if they're disabled, right? They're going to take their money. Makes no difference to them. So it's important to be aware of this scam. Make sure your loved ones are aware of this scam. And don't trust it if you get a phone call like this. That's a grandparent scam. What do you all think of that example? I never get tired of it. I show that example every week and never get tired of it. The full video, again, you can watch it over on Scam Sandwiches, his YouTube channel. You can see the whole video on that site, and it's fascinating. Oh, and by the way, he was able to reach the victim and warn her about this as well. So the victim you just listened to, or the targeted person, not the victim, because luckily she was warned by the scam baiter, was able to contact her and warned her about it. So luckily that person we just listened to, she didn't lose any money to this scam. But you could see how so many could. And if she didn't get that warning from this YouTuber, if she didn't get that warning, she would have lost her money. So anyway, grandparent scams, be aware of them. Make sure your loved ones are aware of them. And if you have kids or grandkids, don't fall for this scam if you get a phone call like this. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Oh, by the way, let me know in the chat. Have you ever received a call like this, or a friend, someone who's fallen for this scam, or received a call like this? Every now and then we get some viewers that are like, yeah, I had a friend who this happened to, or I know someone that this happened to. It's more common than you would think. So next scam we're going to talk about here, fake order scams. This one's important to be aware of. It's extremely common right now. And we're being targeted from all directions when it comes to these fake order scams. And what I mean by that is the scammers are targeting us with emails. They're targeting us with text messages. They're targeting us with phone calls. Right? And how this scam works is victims receive a fake notification. Maybe it's an email, text message, phone call, that an order was placed under their account. Could be any vendor that they claim to be. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal information, personal financial details. And the whole point of this scam is to trick the victim into calling the scammer. It's similar to that tech support scam we talked about earlier, where the victim gets tricked into calling the scammer. And again, in this case, you get a text message that says order was placed. And that's how the scammer tricks you into calling them. In fact, let me show you some examples here. So for these fake order scams, the first example I'm going to share with you here is a text message version. This text message example of a fake order scam was shared with me by many people. It was reported to me multiple times. And this text message, it impersonates Apple. It claims to be from Apple. And it says that your Apple Pay was used for $143 at an Apple store. And then it says, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. Right? And the point of this scam is to trick the victim into calling this number, which ends up being a scammer. Right? And you can see how it uses fear or urgency to trick a victim too. The victim gets a text message like, I didn't spend $143. I better call back this number immediately. Right? But they don't realize they're calling a scammer. This is also an example where once you reach the scammer, a lot of times what they'll do is they say, oh, well, somebody's using your account and your money's not safe. You need to transfer it. Transfer it to this account. Or withdraw it and purchase gift cards so it's safe. But that's how they get you with the scam. That's how they trick the victim into thinking someone's got access to their money. So if you get this text message that's impersonating Apple, don't trust it. What you would do is you would just check your account directly. Don't click the links. Don't call the phone numbers. Instead, just go check your Apple account directly and see if there's anything suspicious there. But definitely don't trust the phone numbers or links in a message like this if you receive it. So what else about these fake order scams. Well, I mentioned that we're being targeted from all directions, right? Text messages, emails, phone calls. So I have two examples of phone calls that I'm going to share with you right now and play for you right now. And these phone calls are actively circulating, again, reported to me by multiple people. And what these are is these are examples of these fake order scam phone calls. And they try to trick you into pressing 1 to be connected to a scammer, or they'll say, call back this number, to dispute the charge. But if you call back the number, it's going to be a scammer. All right. So just like that text message where they try to trick you into thinking an order was placed and that you need to dispute it, these phone calls are doing the same thing. So let's listen to our first example here, which it impersonates Amazon, and they claim a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. So let's take a listen.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
All right, so that's the first example of a fake order scam phone call. And you can see it said that they impersonate Amazon. They say, we're calling from Amazon. They say MacBook Pro was purchased under your account for $1,499. Right, so the victim thinks, oh my God, someone purchased a $1,500 MacBook Pro on my account. All right, I better press 1. Let's see, I think this one said press 1, right? Let's see here.
Please press 1 to speak.
Yeah, and this one says press 1 to speak. Or call number back,
To
right?
our customer support representative.
Yeah, so this one tells you to press 1. The idea is that you were supposed to pick up the phone, get scared by that message, and press 1. Maybe connect to a scammer. So you get the fake order notification through a text message. You get the fake order notification through a phone call. Let's listen to a second phone call. That's an example of a fake order scam. This one impersonates Walmart and claims that you purchased a PlayStation.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
So by the way, if anybody leaves a message saying call back on the number shown, like, it's a scam. If they can't even leave a real phone number to call, they just say call back the number on your caller ID or call back number displayed is a scam. But anyway, that recording is another example of a fake order scam phone call, right? You get that phone call. It claims a PlayStation was purchased under your Walmart account. And it says to call this number to dispute it. If you call, to be connected to a scammer. And that's how these fake order scams work. Let me know in the chat if you've received any calls like that before. All these examples in this fake order scam, we did a video about this scam, and we included all the same examples in that video. And people are commenting on that video saying that they received the exact same phone call, the recent comments. So we still know that these phone calls are circulating, and it's important to be aware of them. So far, we've seen a text message example of these fake order scams. We've listened to 2 phone call examples of these fake order scams. I mentioned that you're being targeted from all directions, right? So let's talk about email next. And what we have in this case is a story from a victim who fell for this email version of this scam. Article is about a year old, a little over a year. And it says a 23-year-old Lincoln woman, right? So notice the age 23-year-old. So it's not just older folks that fall for these scams. Young people do too. And that's important to be aware of. There's this misconception that only older folks are being targeted and only older folks are falling for these scams, but younger folks are getting targeted too, and they're falling for it. So a 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase. All right, so let's stop there. There you go. That's an example of the fake order scam. Right? She gets an email. It says an order. It says she purchased an iPhone. Right? She didn't. It was a fake email. Right? It's not real. But she says that maybe purchased an iPhone. And then it calls number to dispute it. Right? So the woman thinks, oh, I better call this number to dispute it. She thinks she's talking to Apple. Right? But she's actually talking to a scammer. And that's how these fake order scams work. Whether it's a text message, an email, a phone call. right? And what's interesting about this article is it kind of gives us a peek too about what happens next with this scam and where it goes, right? So she calls up the number. She thinks she's talking to Apple about an iPhone that was wrongly purchased under her account. And the scammer tells her that she has multiple accounts open across states and someone's using her identity. Right. Then the scammers connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right. So there you go. That's the email version of these fake order scams. The whole idea is to trick you into calling a scammer. They make you think an order was placed. You think you're calling customer support to dispute it. But it's a scam. And also, did you notice the red flag? There's the gift cards, right? That's why we mentioned that red flag earlier. You know, in this case, she was told to withdraw her money and purchase gift cards, and that's always a red flag. They're telling you to purchase gift cards. So be aware of that scam. And it's tricky because, you know, they can claim to be any vendor. They can claim any product was purchased. So you just have to be aware of how this scam in general works. Right? If you get some notification claiming a purchase was made, you know, check your account manually. Don't click any links. Don't call any phone numbers. Instead, check your account manually. And if you're concerned, look up the official contact information and reach out directly to the company that's being impersonated. But don't trust phone numbers that they say to call. Don't trust links that they tell you to click. That's a very common scam. So watch out for those fake order scams. They're targeting you from every direction. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know if you're watching. Let me know you're still here. Say hi in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like button. Hit that heart. Let's get some more people in here. We're planning on streaming for at least another hour and a half. So, still a good time to get some more people in here and learn about some common scams to be aware of. Next scam we're going to talk about here. This undeliverable package scams. The way these undeliverable package scams work, and it's important to be aware of these. We're starting to get more reports about these lately, and they're going to pick up as the holidays approach too. But basically, victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages, and they're asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal or financial details provided to the website are actually stolen by the scammers. There never was a package. All right, so this is all just a trick to try and get the victim to click a link and provide their payment details. And this scam is a pretty common scam. It always picks up during the holidays and towards the end of the year. Again, we're already starting to see it pick up. It's important to be aware of it because these delivery services will not send text messages like this. FedEx, UPS, USPS, they don't send text messages like this. And as you can see in this example, it says, we attempted to deliver your UPS package on June 23rd, if they spelt it wrong. So that's an indicator. That's always a red flag when they put 23rd instead of 23rd, it's 23rd. But we were unable to contact you, and the delivery could not be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule the delivery by doing the following. And it has a link to supposedly reschedule. But if you click that link, you get taken to the fake website. It's going to steal any details you enter. Another example from USPS. Due to invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but it has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address for 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender, and then it has a link to the fake website. It's going to try and steal your information. Here's another example. This one is actually a group text, and the scammer named the group text to USPS. So you get the strange message that says USPS. You know, you can see how someone might be like, oh, this must be legit. But since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. Please update. It's got the link to the fake website. And these next two examples, these are just text messages that came in with attachments, right? So it comes in with an attachment. It has the USPS logo. Dear customer, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we were unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file to update your address. All right, but if you open that file, it's going to take it to a fake website. And by the way, never open attachments you weren't expecting, because this could have been a virus too. You never want to open an attachment that you weren't expecting. And again, these delivery services would never send a text message like this. So if you get one like this, it's a scam. You can see in this version, it's got an HTML file attached. But here's another one that has a PDF file attached. It says the same thing. And these came from numbers inside the US as well. So in this example, you can see it came from a US number. So when we talk about these undeliverable package scams, I do like to share this story. I consider this a win. So this was published about a year ago, a little over a year ago, on Wired magazine. And it turned out that this guy's wife, she got tricked by these scammers, these undeliverable package scams, and she entered her credit card details. But the husband apparently is pretty good with computers, and he hacked the scammers. So he infiltrates their systems, and he learned a bunch of interesting details about this scam operation. And one of them was they were sending out over 100,000 scam text messages per day. Right? So let that sink in. 100,000 scam text messages per day. And that was just one organization that was doing it. Right? That was just one scam group. So who knows how many other groups are doing it. But that means that there's probably millions and millions of scam text messages being sent all day. Right? So that right there is fascinating. It gives you an idea of what these scammers are capable of. Also, in this case, the group that did it, they were a Chinese language group. So that was interesting. And then also, they had almost 500,000 unique credit cards from victims. Right, so they had 438,669 unique credit cards. Almost 500,000 credit cards were provided by victims. Many people entered multiple cards, and they had 50,000 email addresses logged. Some included government or military email addresses. Right, so it gives you an idea of how many people are falling for this scam, how common it is, why they keep doing it, because it's working. Right? I mean, they had almost 500,000 unique credit cards, and this was only one scam group. But he was able to infiltrate their system at least. And he worked with authorities to help notify owners of the credit cards and stuff. So we count it as a win. But it gives you an idea of what these scammers are capable of. And again, it's another reason to be aware of these scams, because we will be attacked. These scammers, they're targeting everybody. And as far as these undeliverable package scams go, I just talked about the text message version, but something to keep in mind when it comes to scams is that a text message version of a scam, usually there's an email version of a scam too, right? And vice versa. If there's an email version, there's usually a text message version. The contact method could be easily switched out, right? So, and in the case of these undeliverable package scams, that's true. We showed you some text message scams, but also last year during the holidays, there was an email version of scam floating around. We were actually the only ones to report about it and actually share examples of this email scam, by the way, too. I was pretty proud of that video. We released it. It was an exclusive. And this scam disappeared right after the holidays ended, too. So I expect it's going to pop up again as soon as the holidays start and then disappear again, because they're trying to stay under the radar. Again, we were the only ones to report about it. Nobody else shared examples of these actual phishing emails that were going out. So check out that video. We had the video about that from last year. But anyway, so here's another example of these undeliverable package scams, except you get the email. You see it was dated November 16th, 2024, so it was during the holidays last year. It's got the FedEx logo up top, and it says, "We're sorry, your package appears to be delayed. We regret to inform you there's been an issue with the delivery of your recent FedEx shipment. We understand how frustrating this could be, and we're actively investigating what happened." And in this version of the scam, they actually offer you a compensation product up to $100 in value and has a link to click. Look, stop right there. FedEx, UPS, they don't offer you compensation products when a package is delayed. I wish they did, but they don't. So right off the bat, you get an email like this, you should know it's a scam. But it's an interesting version of this scam, right? Because it's trying to get you to click on this link and claim a free package or a free prize. Or product, I'm sorry. And here's a second version. A week later, right? So you see this example came from November 16th. A week later, November 22nd, almost an identical email comes in, but it impersonates UPS. Right? The header changes to UPS header logo. We're sorry, your package appears to be missing. We understand how frustrating this could be. We'd like to offer you a $100 compensation product. Get your compensation now. But it's a scam. You click that link, you get taken to a fake website. And the fake website is going to have products listed for you. But it's going to say pay for shipping. That's how they get you. That's how they get your information. The product never arrives. There never was a product. No compensation product. They just stole whatever details you entered for shipping. So watch out for these undeliverable package scams. Again, they always pick up during the holidays because there's a lot of packages being sent and received. And don't fall for it if it comes up. How are we all doing out there this evening? Let me know if you're still watching. Watching on Facebook, say hi. If you're watching on Instagram, say hi. Hit that like button. Still time to invite some more people into the live stream. We're on YouTube too. So a lot of these scams we're talking about tonight, we have YouTube videos as well. So check those out and share those. Next scam we're going to talk about here are fake retail websites. This is a extremely common scam, and we're going to see more of it as well as the holidays approach. Right? It's these fake retail websites, and they offer products, but you're never going to get the products. The whole idea is they're trying to get you there, and they want to steal any payment details you enter. So these fake websites sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items, and we see this a lot with trending items. Here's some examples of these fake retail websites. And this is actually an example from the last scam, the undeliverable package scam. If you clicked on that link offering a free product, it actually would have taken you to this site. So you see the Black Friday banner up top, and they try to make it look like it's some crazy Black Friday sale. They say the headphones are worth $175, but just pay shipping, $8.95. But it's a scam. You're never going to get the product, and they're just trying to steal your payment details. Here's another example, right? Same scam, except they're offering the portable heater. $175 value, just pay shipping, $8.69. But they'll steal any details you enter. And we have the wireless earbuds. The same deal. They say they're valued at $175, but just pay for shipping. But they're going to steal any information you provide. You're never going to get the earbuds. It's a scam. Don't do it. And these earbuds are an example of how they use trending items. This year, watch out for those Labubus. Right? That's a hot item. We're already getting tons of reports about fake ones being sold and fake websites having these deals on them, but they're scams. You're never going to get the item. So watch out for these fake Labubus. We're going to be seeing that for the next few months, I'm sure, especially as the holidays approach. And all these other items too, like wireless earbuds. And if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. And there's many ways that you could end up on these fake retail websites, right? Scammers, they purchase ads on social media. So just because you see an ad on social media for one of these deals, it doesn't mean that it's real, right? So it could still be a scam. Scammers purchase ads like anybody else. Same thing with search engine results on Google. If you're searching for these items, you could land on a fake retail website because these scammers, they'll purchase sponsored listings and search results on Google as well. So you can't just trust a website because it was returned in Google. Banner ads. You might be on a website that you use all the time. That's a reliable, trustworthy website, but they use a third party for advertisements, and that third party sneaks in a ad from a scammer. Right? You end up on these fake retail websites. And again, a lot of the big giveaways, the scam giveaway or the tell, is that they offer an item for free, and they say just pay for shipping. But the item's like valued at like $100, $200, right? It's too good to be true. Nobody's giving away free products that are worth $100 for $8 shipping, right? So keep that in mind. And if you're going to enter your information, at least research the website and try to find some indication that it's legit. So watch out for these fake retail websites. We're going to be seeing them more and more as the holidays approach. Important to be aware. How we all doing out there this evening? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. If you're over on Facebook, hit that like button. Let us know what scams you've seen, what scams you want to talk about. If you have any questions, let us know. I want to answer them. So I'm monitoring the chat in real time. I'm here to answer your questions and share your experiences, and I want to hear what's been going on with you guys. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue going over these scam examples, because our mission here is to spread awareness of these scams. And these are common scams. They all target individuals. They target you. They target me. They target your loved ones. It's important to be aware. So in this next example, we're going to talk about a gift card received email scam. And that's when victims receive an email notification that a gift card was sent to them. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, so if you get an email notification, maybe it looks like this. Right, in this example, it impersonates Venmo. It says you received a $50 gift card from your company. Your company has given you an employee rewards card. Right, instead of just blindly clicking the link and activating it and trusting it, what you want to do is we want to verify with whoever supposedly sent you this. So in this case, you would verify with your employer that they actually sent you this card before you click any links. Right? You're going to want to say thanks anyway. Right? If it said a family member, you want to reach out to them, because scammers, they'll impersonate family members. So whoever supposedly sent you this gift card, you want to reach out to them first, confirm they actually sent it to you, it's legit, and then you trust it. And you're going to want to say thank you anyway, right? So 2 birds with 1 stone. Reach out, find out if they actually sent it to you, say thank you, and then go activate it. But we know this is a common scam. You get these fake gift cards. You know, sometimes they'll claim to be from retailers. It's like, thank you for being a valued customer. Here's a $50 gift card. Right? But it could be a scam. So you have to be have your guard up when it comes to these gift card emails. So that's an example of a gift card or received email scam. Be aware of them and watch out. All right. So we've gone over 10 different types of scams so far. We got 10 more, I believe, to go. So still have lots more useful information that we'll be going over this evening on the live stream. So probably about an hour left. I'm feeling a little tired. We'll see if I can make it through. But the plan is to go for another hour here. If you're just joining us, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spreading awareness about scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. Make sure to join our free mailing list. It's on scamaware101.com. You click join mailing list. We'll send you useful scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live. You can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms: YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We have links here right on our homepage. Take donations too. Scamaware101.com/donate. We also have Super Thanks enabled on our YouTube channel. So we take Super Thanks, memberships, all that good stuff. If you want to throw us a couple bucks and help support us that way, we appreciate it. Just trying to put something good out there. But hey, we'll take the likes, the subscribers, the follows too. That's a free, easy way that you could help us spread awareness about these scams. By clicking like, follow, subscribe, hitting that heart, leaving a comment. It all helps. All right, the next scam we're going to talk about, Social Security scams. Mainly, Social Security impersonation scams. Because this is a big problem. Scammers impersonate Social Security officials, and they'll claim there is a problem with the victim's number or benefits. That's one thing that they do. And then they'll try to get like banking information from the victim or try to steal payment information. Other times, they'll threaten immediate action if a payment isn't made. And that's sort of phone. You know, they'll call victims directly and impersonate Social Security. Then there's also the fake emails that impersonate Social Security too. The example we're going to share with you in a moment is actually an email that impersonates Social Security, and it claims it's a statement from Social Security. But it's actually a scam to try and get you to run this file on your device. So you have to be suspicious of any kind of communication that claims to be from a government agency, you know, especially Social Security. And something interesting is this is an actual picture on my screen of an envelope, a legit, real envelope delivered from Social Security, right? Just to give you an idea what a big problem these scams are is Social Security actually has warnings on their envelopes about scams. Every time they send a letter out to somebody, they have a big warning on that envelope saying, scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. It says right here, hang up. Do not give them money or personal information. So that just gives you an idea of what a big problem this is, that Social Security is warning you about it on their envelopes. But let's take a look at a example of that scam I mentioned. And the first version of it I'm going to show you is how it would look on the phone, right? Because it looks a little misleading on the phone. You could fall for it on the phone. It's more likely than on a computer, because on the phone you can't really see the from address, right? It says Department of, and that's cut off. You actually have to click on it to see the actual email address it's claimed to be from. And then it says the link looks like it points to ssa.gov. And basically what this email does, it says, to see your statement, please download the file from this link. It has a link. The link looks like it points to Social Security.gov. We hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration services. All right, so they're impersonating Social Security. But if a victim clicks this link, it's actually going to download a virus to their computer. So if you look at this email on a computer, instead of on a phone, you could tell a little bit easier that it's a scam. So first of all, you actually see the email address. And the email address clearly isn't ssa.gov. It is coming from a .co.ke email address, which I believe is Kenya, right? So it's not even coming from a email address that's government or from the U.S. Then you see the link. If you hover over it, right, don't click on it, but if you hover over it, you can see it doesn't point to ssa.gov. It actually points to some random website. Right, so they're trying to hide where that link points to by making it look like it points to ssa.gov. So this is an example of a scam email. It claims that you have to click the link for a statement from Social Security, but it's going to install a virus. So be aware of these types of Social Security impersonation scams, whether it's an email or a phone call. It's a big problem, and they've been warning about it for a while now. And let me know in the chat if you've encountered any of these scams, and I want to hear from you. Let's take a look at our next scam, which is IRS impersonation scams. And this is similar to Social Security, where you have to be aware of phone calls that come in impersonating the IRS, or emails that impersonate the IRS, text messages that impersonate the IRS. Because we know that fraudsters impersonate tax authorities. They claim the victim owes taxes or must pay immediately. Look, the IRS isn't going to be calling you over the phone and threatening you like that. They're going to send you official paperwork, if anything. But they're not going to call you over the phone and start threatening you like that. Again, something to keep in mind, we mentioned it earlier, is that government agencies, they don't accept cryptocurrency or gift cards. So if you're getting a call from someone claiming to be the IRS and telling you to pay with gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam. But let's take a look at a text message example of an IRS impersonation scam. This one was circulating this most recent tax season. And this example here was actually provided by the IRS. They issued a warning earlier in the year about this scam that was circulating. This text message that impersonates the IRS, it says, "You're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We'll deposit the amount into your bank account or email you a paper check within 1 to 2 business days." And then it has the fake link to click. Right? But if you click that link, it's going to try to steal your personal details, like your bank account details and your other information. And again, the IRS warned us about this text message. If you get a text message like this, it's 100% a scam. They said there's no $1,400 economic impact payment. And if there was, they wouldn't be sending you a text message about it. So keep that in mind if you get any kind of text message claiming to be from the IRS. Also, in this example, notice that instruction at the end that we see on a lot of these examples where it says, please reply with yes, then reopen the message. That's always a red flag. Scammers, they want you to reply. And when you reply, they know that your number is active. They know to target you more. And also, it activates the link. It makes it easier for you to click on the fake link. So never reply. If you see that instruction at the end, it's always a red flag. And be aware that scammers are targeting victims, through text message, claiming to be the IRS. So phone calls, emails, text messages. Always be suspicious if it claims to be a government organization. You with me? Let me know in the chat if you've received a text message like that or know someone who has. Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So watch us on your favorite platform. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe and follow. You can help us spread awareness about these scams. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Tax forgiveness scams. So there's a lot of these floating around right now still. I get these calls all the time. And what it is these fake scams. They don't impersonate the IRS, but they impersonate an accountant or a tax service, right? And they claim that you have back taxes owed and that they could take care of it for you. But there's so many of these calls floating around now. And at the end of the day, look, if you think you owe back taxes and you think that someone could do something for you, reach out to an accountant. Reach out to a real accountant. Don't just deal with some random phone call you get, because we know this is a common scam that's floating around. And I'm going to play an example of one of those phone calls right now. I'm actually going to play you two examples. So let's start with the first one here.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick, and I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So that's an example of one of these circulating tax forgiveness scam phone calls. Extremely common right now. Still floating around, even though tax season is kind of long over at this point. But they're still floating around, so don't trust them. We have another one. Oh, and by the way, as far as that recording we just listened to, you see how realistic that sounded? That's an example of AI being used, where now you get these recordings. It sounds like a real person, right? She says, I'll keep your file on my desk. And there's no file on anybody's desk. That's a robocall. It's calling everybody. It's saying the exact same thing to everybody. It opens up with a scare tactic saying you owe back taxes. So whether you do or not, they're trying to scare whoever answers their phone into thinking, I must have done something wrong, right? So don't trust phone calls like that. And here's one more example too. And what's funny about this one is I actually got this call the other day, and it's designed to have like pauses along the way, and it hopes that you answer the questions it asks and don't realize that it's a robocall. So it's kind of funny. So let me play this recording for you, and you're not going to hear any of my responses because I didn't say anything. I literally just sat there quiet. I listened and recorded this, this robocall that acts like it's a real person on the other end and pauses and waits for an answer and acts like you answered. It's kind of funny. But anyway, let me play this recording for you right now.
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording.
Okay, so this special program has been recently...
I'm going to stop it at that point. But see how that's a shady tactic. It's a sleazy tactic. It's not a real person, right? It's a recording. It's programmed to pause and as if you're going to answer, and it doesn't want you to realize it's a recording, right? So it does that for like the first 50 seconds, and then it says, okay, I got a recording for you to listen to. But it's all a scam. It's not real. And, you know, if some company's using those shady tactics and they're trying to, you don't want to do business with them anyway, right? So don't trust phone calls like that. And look, be aware of this AI stuff, man. These phone calls, they're sounding more and more realistic, and it's more important than ever to be aware of these scams so you can protect yourself. You know, scammers are using AI, and they're winning this war. So, you know, awareness is key. Knowledge is your best defense. And stay aware of these scams and warn your friends and family about these scams. The next scam we're going to talk about here. I'm not sure what the official name is for this scam. I've just been calling it a discount gift card scam. But basically, how this scam works is you receive a phone call, and it impersonates your cable or internet provider, right? In this case, I'm going to play an example that impersonates Comcast. I don't have Comcast, so I knew right away it was a scam. But for someone that has Comcast, they may not have realized. And also, just because the version I'm going to share with you said Comcast, it doesn't mean that there's versions of this out there impersonating all the other companies too. So whether it's Comcast, Verizon, Optum Online, whoever, the scammers impersonate them all. So just because this example I'm going to play impersonates Comcast, that doesn't mean it's only Comcast that's going to be used. And how the scam works is basically you get this phone call, and they say that your 50% promotional discount expires today. So your bill's going to double. And they say, call back, to discuss options. And the idea is they're trying to trick you to call back this number. You think you're calling Comcast, but you're actually calling a scammer. So that's how they get you to call them back. They claim that your promotional offers could expire today, your bill's going to double, and you should call them to talk about it. Right? And then what happens is, and I'm going to play a recording for you. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to play the recording for you first, then I'll tell you what happens if you call back. So let's listen to the recording first.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
There's that red flag too saying, call back the number on caller ID instead of leaving a legit number, right? So that's always a red flag when they do that. But yeah, so the idea is they tell you your 50% promotional discount's going to expire. Call back. Your bill's going to double, right? Now what happens is when you call back, how this scam works is they tell you, well, that promotion's up, but we have a new promotion with Target, for example. We have a new promotion going with Target. And if you purchase a $500 Target gift card and you make your payment with that, you get to keep the same rate for next year, right? So they trick the victim into purchasing a Target gift card, sending it to them. The victim thinks that they're paying Comcast, for the year of service, to get the discount, but they're actually paying a scammer. And that's how that trick works. And it all starts with that phone call claiming to be your internet provider. So watch out for that scam. It's pretty clever. What do y'all think of that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you've gotten that call before. So it's time for our second coffee break. That's usually our final one for the evening, and then we continue the rest of the live stream uninterrupted. But we just rounded our second hour here. We've been live streaming since 5:45 Eastern time over here. So I've been going for about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. I think we discussed about 15 scams so far. We got about 4 more left. So lots of good stuff still coming up. Going for probably another hour or so. Gonna stay caffeinated. Go refill my Scamaware 101 travel mug. You get your own right on our YouTube store. We have a link on our website too. So check that out. Help support our mission by a coffee mug. Hit that like button. Let me know you're watching. All right, we're going to refill this coffee mug, take the quick 5 minutes, and then we're going to continue the rest of the live stream uninterrupted for about an hour or so. So, again, lots of good stuff still coming up. So hit that like button, say hi in the chat. Let me know what you want to talk about and hear about. And we're going to continue in 5 more minutes. So, I'll be back momentarily. All right, everybody, we're back. See how we're doing out there. We got anybody watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. How we all doing? Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Hit that heart. Just updating the agenda timeline here. We're not going to do tools and software today. Do snail mail scams. All right, next up, we're going to do some snail mail scams because scammers still use the traditional mail to deliver their scams. So it's still important to be aware of snail mail scams. All right, everybody, let's keep on going here. By the way, you want to hear about other scams or have questions about certain scams, let me know in the chat. I'm monitoring. It might be a little slow to answer as I present, but I'll definitely check and answer you. So let me hear your stories. Let me hear your questions. I want to hear from you. And if you haven't yet, make sure to join our free mailing list, scamware101.com, and hit join mailing list. It's free to subscribe, and we'll send you some useful scam awareness tips. All good stuff to be aware of. Now, with that said, let's continue talking about some scams here. And we're going to talk about some snail mail scams. What I mean when I say snail mail, I mean traditional mail service scams. These scams arrive in letters or postcards right to your inbox, directly at home. And what are the first snail mail scams we're going to talk about are going to be free gift postcard scams, right? So you get a postcard that says you want a free gift. You're entitled to a free gift, and it'll have a QR code to scan, right? So victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right. So you can't trust postcards that are offering you free gifts that you weren't expecting or that don't seem to make sense. Right? An example of that is this postcard here. And notice how it's offering free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Just like that fake retail website example that we shared earlier, right? They offered the free wireless Bluetooth earbuds, just pay for shipping, but it's a scam. And this is an example of how scammers, they use popular and trending items and they just work them into their existing scams. In this case, a trending item, is the Bluetooth earbuds. So here's an example of a postcard claiming that you get a free pair of Bluetooth earbuds and it has a QR code to scan. But if you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to a fake website. It steals your personal details, name, address. This says Amazon account information and even your credit card number. So you can't trust postcards that randomly arrive like this. Be suspicious of them, and just because you receive them in the mail, that doesn't mean you can trust them any more than an email that claims you got a free prize. You need to be suspicious nowadays. So that's this is an example of a snail mail scam. It's a postcard offering a free gift. But I want to take a moment and talk about QR codes into a little bit more detail as well, right? Because these QR codes, they kind of brought new life into these old mail scams. Because now, thanks to these QR codes, you get a letter or postcard in the mail. It's much easier to get you onto a fake website by scanning a QR code. And we're starting to see these QR codes all over the place, not just in the mail, right? We're seeing reports where malicious QR codes are being placed on parking meters. So when you go to pay a parking meter, you scan the code, it's actually going to take it to a fake scammer website. Right? Here's an article. It's a warning from the BBB about that exact scam. Double check the QR code before you pay for parking. So watch out for QR codes. Whether they arrive in the mail or you find them in public, it is important to be aware of those. So, but let's continue with snail mail scams here. The next example of a snail mail scam we're going to show you is an inheritance scam. And that's when victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative. But to claim it, they usually have to pay fees or taxes or provide personal details to the scammer. And we have an example of this, a scam letter that actually was sent out, snail mail, arrived in a mailbox. But also keep in mind all the examples we're showing you of these snail mail scams, there's email versions too, right? And vice versa. A lot of these email scams, there'll be snail mail versions as well. You know, again, it's all easily interchangeable and text message scams. So just because we're showing you the snail mail version of this scam, you should still be alert for email versions, text message versions. The scammers use every form of communication they can to spread their scams. But anyway, so in this letter, this physical snail mail letter, it impersonates a law office, right? They have official looking letterhead, a logo. You see it's dated November 29th. So this example is less than a year old, right? And it basically says that they're impersonating a law firm. It says that a relative sharing the same last name as you died 4 years ago. You're entitled to $10.8 million inheritance, right, for a life insurance policy that she had. And they will facilitate the entire thing for you since they're a law office. And they say it's 100% risk-free. They have all necessary documentation to expedite the process in a confidential manner. I will provide all relevant documents to substantiate your claim as the beneficiary. This claim requires a high level of confidentiality. All right. So, anyway, so think about this, right? They're saying you're entitled to $10.8 million. And if this scam is to trick you into paying fees and taxes, first, think what the fees and taxes could be on $10.8 million, right? It's probably going to be a couple $1 million. So, these scammers are potentially scamming their victims out of millions of dollars. You know, the victims that fall for this. What's interesting about this letter is that it had the person it was addressed to, their last name was also used for the person they described as the deceased relative, right? And what's interesting about this scam is when you do a quick Google search, you find tons of other people reporting the exact same letter, receiving the exact same letter, except the only thing different is the name gets swapped out to match theirs, right? The last names. So that's how this scam works. Very easy to see people reporting this scam too. So if you ever get a letter like this, most of the time you do a quick Google search, you could find other people reporting, the same scam. So be aware, you get a letter like this, just because you received it in the mail, that doesn't make it any more legit. And a lot of scams, whether it's an inheritance scam or a fake prize scam, a lot of them say you have to pay fees and taxes first, which isn't how that's supposed to work. So that's a big red flag if they're trying to get you to pay up front for supposedly a big inheritance or a prize, right? So anyway, that's an inheritance scam, and the example you see on the screen is an actual letter. It's circulating less than a year ago. So watch out for this one, and if you hear any friends or loved ones receive a letter like this, and they call you up all excited about being a millionaire, I could warn them about it. Show them this video and do a quick Google search. Show them it's a scam. Inheritance scams, important to be aware of. Of course, let me know in the chat and in the comments if you've received a letter like this. Know someone that received a letter like this? I want to hear from you. The next scam we're going to talk about here, I think it's actually the last on this list of scams here. Let me see. Is this the last one? Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep. And QR codes. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, this is our last scam. 19 or 20 scams we talked about this evening. But we still have more coming up. So don't leave yet. We still have, we're going to go do the scam tracker map next. But let's talk about this last scam, because this is actually one of my favorite last scams to talk about. I mean, if I had to choose a favorite scam, whatever that means. This snail mail scam is super interesting, and it's referred to they call it a secret survey check scam, but really what it's just a mystery shopper scam. You receive a letter in the mail. It says you've been selected as a mystery shopper to do a secret survey assignment. That's why they call it secret survey check scam. And here's an example of what one of those letters might look like. And they impersonate Walgreens and CVS. It's very common for them to say, you know, they claim to be from Walgreens, CVS. You've been selected as a secret survey shopper. You've been assigned a secret survey assignment. And what's interesting about this scam is they include a check in the envelope with it. Right? So you receive this letter and you receive a check. So you'll be holding a check in your hand thinking, wow, I already got paid. Right? And the letter instructs you to purchase 4 gift cards, right? Red flag gift cards, always a red flag. It instructs you to purchase 4 gift cards, $500 each. Right? So $2,000 worth. And then it says you keep the $480 as your commission, or $450 as your commission. So, and also the letter instructs you to deposit the check first, and then within 12 to 24 hours, purchase the gift cards. And you keep the $450 as your commission, and you get an extra $200 if you complete it within 12 to 24 hours. So how this works is the victim goes out, they deposit the check into the bank, they go out, they purchase $2,000 worth of gift cards. They send pictures of those gift cards to the scammer, right? And that's it. They think, okay, great. So I made $450. I'm going to get an extra $200. But what actually happens is a day or two later, they get notified by the bank that the check bounced. It was bad, right? The $2,000 that they thought was in the bank, or $2,400 they thought was in the bank, disappears, right? And now they're $2,000 in the hole because they bought $2,000 worth of gift cards to send to the scammer. They can't get those gift cards back. You lose $2,000. And on top of it, the bank hits you with a fee for depositing a bad check, just to add insult to injury. Right? And that's how a secret shopper scam works. It comes with a check, but just because it has a check with it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you could trust it. You should be more suspicious, if anything. Because the scammers know that the bank's not going to notify you immediately that the check is bad. You're going to deposit the check. You're going to think that the money's there. And then, suddenly a day or two later, the bank's going to be like, oh, never mind, that check was bad, and the money disappears. But by then, it's too late. They already have the gift cards, and you're stuck with $2,000 less. So again, what you see on the screen is a copy of the letter you would get in the mail, one version of it. This one included a $2,480 check. It instructs you to go to CVS or Walgreens, and it wants you to purchase Apple gift cards or Razor Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, Steam Wallet gift cards. Those are the cards they'll accept. So Apple gift cards, Razor Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, or Steam Wallet gift cards. And they instruct you to go to Walgreens and CVS. But again, it's all a scam. As soon as you send them those gift cards, they're going to disappear, and a day or two later, that check bounces and you're stuck $2,000 less in your bank account. Here's a second version of that scam. And it's the same idea. They impersonate Walgreens and CVS. This version, it included a $1,900 check, and it instructs the victim to go purchase 3 gift cards, 3 $500 gift cards. What's interesting about this letter is this scammer only wants Apple gift cards. So it instructs the victim to purchase 3 $500 Apple gift cards. But this scammer doesn't care where you get them from. He says you go to Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. The letter list is all right there. It says go to these stores and buy 3 Apple gift cards. And it also came with a check, but that check's going to bounce. It'll bounce in like 2 days, and that money disappears. So that's how the scam works. It's a version of a check scam, and in this case, it's a secret survey or mystery shopper check scam. It's a snail mail scam. You get these letters in the mail, and enclosed with the envelope with letters, there'll be a check. So, important to be aware of that scam. We did a video about this one. It was actually one of the most recent videos we did, and people have been leaving comments recently and confirming they recently received the exact same letter or similar letter. So we know these scams are still circulating. They're still active. You can't trust them. So it's important to realize, scammers still use the Postal Service to target individuals with snail mail scams. Just because you receive a letter in the mail, that doesn't mean it can be trusted. You can't trust unsolicited letters that include a check and envelope. That's a reason to be suspicious. If a random envelope comes containing a check that you weren't expecting from someone you didn't, interact with, is very suspicious. If you deposit the check, you're risking it bouncing. You're risking getting a fee. If anything, call up the issuing bank and ask if the funds are available. Confirm that the account actually has the funds and it's real. But even then, the whole scenario is suspicious. A secret survey check scam, a real mystery shopper scam wouldn't even work this way. If you get a random check in the mail telling you it's a scam, don't trust it. It'll be very suspicious. And we saw that red flag, right? Any request to purchase gift cards. This was a pretty clever way to do it. But any request to purchase gift cards should be considered a red flag. It's like you hear the word gift card, or red flag. And also, just as a side note, receiving a job offer without applying for it is a red flag. It would be strange for you to just suddenly in the mail receive a letter saying you've been selected for a job, if you didn't apply for it. Especially with a check telling you to deposit it. So a lot of suspicious stuff happening there. And but really, the main thing is you get a letter like that. It contains a check. It's a scam. Telling you to be a mystery shopper. Don't trust it. And that's our snail mail scams of the evening. All recent, all actively circulating, all important to be aware of. All right, everybody. So we're getting to the last portion, or last segment of our live stream here. Still probably got another half hour, so we're going to go for. I usually like to go about 3 hours. So we start at 5:45 p.m. Eastern, right? So we're about 2.5 hours. Got about a half hour or so left. And what I'd like to do for the last portion of the live stream is I'd like to bring up the AARP's scam tracker map. And it's a lot of fun because using their scam tracker map, you can see the real reports of scams that are coming in, where in the country they're coming from, and it gives you an idea of what type of scams are picking up and becoming more popular and what to be aware of. So it's a pretty cool resource. We actually have it here on our website. If you click Tools and Software, and it's the last link at the bottom of the page, AARP Scam Tracking Map. Now, a week or two ago when I tried to bring this up, I was actually having problems, so hopefully they fixed it. Let's see how it goes here. When you go there, I'm going to click Never Allow for location because I want it to show nationwide. But if you wanted it to narrow it down by you could let it pick your location. But let's see here. All right, good. It looks like they fixed it. These are all recent scams now at the top. Cool. All right, so what's cool about the AARP Scam Tracker Map is that all these scam reports you see listed here, they're from the 9th. So that's 2 days ago. So these are all recent scams. There's not much of a delay, right? These reports are only, they're no longer than 2 days old here. So it's all recent reports and scams to be aware of. So I like to go through these, maybe like the last 15, 20 minutes of the live stream and see what people are reporting. And we could talk about scams that we didn't mention already or see if the scams we talked about, are still common scams to be aware of and to watch out for. All right, so you with me? What do you think? Let me know in the chat what you think about that. And, now's a great time to let me know what scams you've been getting targeted with. And any questions you might have or stories you want to share, now's a great time to do it as we start nearing towards the end of the live stream. Still a great time to click like, though. Click like, subscribe, follow if you haven't yet. We're trying to spread awareness of these scams and do something good here. And you can help by clicking like, subscribe, follow. It really does help. And don't forget to join our free mailing list. Here on scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. It's free to join. Get yourself some scam awareness tips. We'll remind you when we're going live. Let you know when we post new content. All useful things to be aware of. So join the free mailing list, scamaware101.com. And follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We have the links here right on our homepage. Username is scamaware101 though. That's we'll use across them all. So, but you can find the links here: YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We're at scamaware101 on all of them. So follow us, like, subscribe. Help us spread awareness. And we do take donations. Scamaware101.com/donate. or you can scan the QR code on your screen. And we have super thanks enabled too over on YouTube. So we'll take a super thanks, send us a couple bucks that way if you prefer. And we just enabled memberships as well on YouTube. So you support us that way too. We appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look at these recent scam reports on the AARP Scam Tracker map and see what people are saying here. As we go through these, definitely let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you've encountered these scams, if any of these sound familiar to you. Charged a bogus cleaning fee by car rental company. I'm not going to focus on that one. So the type of scams I don't really focus on, like people are like complaining about a business or something. I don't really focus on those types of scams. The one I'm focusing on are like these overseas scammers that impersonate other people and try to take everything you have, right? So those are the type of scams that I usually focus on here. I don't really focus on people complaining about, oh, this business did this or this business did that, which are all legit, but it's just not what I focus on here. All right, let's see what this real estate related scam. All right, let's see what this one says. A phone call from, listed as spam on my caller ID, a male voice saying his name was Stephen James. Left a message on my answer service. Stated he needed me to contact him about a property matter. Stated there was documentation that needed to be addressed. We have no reason for this type of call. I do not plan on returning. Okay. Yeah, they didn't give that many details. Not too sure about that scam or what that is, but he did the right thing by not calling. It could have been one of those title scams where they try to get information about your property and then they create a fake title or sell it without you knowing, or it could be something like that as well. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. Got a text from a Philippines country. A lot of these scams, they do come from a Philippines prefix. Yeah. Okay, so this one's a very common one to be aware of. I get this one all the time. In fact, so if you're a Coinbase user for cryptocurrency, you trade Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, Coinbase is one of the popular exchanges out there that a lot of people use. And there's a lot of scams circulating right now that are impersonating Coinbase. There's phone calls going around. I received phone calls from scammers impersonating Coinbase. They told me there was suspicious activity under my account. They asked me if I'd been to Mexico, like trying to get me to, go along with whatever their narrative was. But it wasn't really Coinbase. So we know that they're reaching people over the phone and impersonating Coinbase that way. But there's also this text messages going around. I received it, and I've had multiple people report this text message to me as well. But it's a Coinbase. It's a message that impersonates Coinbase and gives you a withdrawal code. Let me see if I might actually have an example here I can share with you. No, I haven't. I have the recording, but not the screenshot. It's this one maybe. Let's see. No. All right. Unfortunately, I have an example of this one for you. But if you get a text message that's claimed to be from Coinbase, don't trust it. It's a scam, and they're trying to trick you into calling this number. They try to trick you into calling a number, and they're going to try to steal your cryptocurrency. And it's a very common scam right now. Coinbase had a breach a few years ago. So the user list at the time, scammers got it. It's for selling the dark web, right? So these scammers kind of have a list already of Coinbase users to contact. And then they impersonate, Coinbase, which is a big problem. These cyber breaches, a lot of times where you get targeted by these scammers because they got your information in their breach. That's how they know things about you. How they know what bank you use already and things like that. Caller sounded like a family member who lived out of state. They said they had a legal emergency and there was a gag order. So, this looks interesting. This looks like it's kind of like a grandparent scam version. They said they had a legal emergency and there was a gag order, so information could not be shared with others not on the call. They required cash to be sent by mail. Yeah, so this is somebody claimed to be a family member living out of state. Interesting. It was a phone call. A lot of times you see this online. You'll get an email or a message from a family member, but it's actually a scammer that just created a fake profile. It's interesting this person got a phone call. But, hey, we know they do grandparent scams. We discussed that one, so it's not that surprising. Let's see what some more scams people are reporting are. Again, if you're watching, say hi in the chat. If you're just joining, let us know what scams you've encountered, which scams you want to talk about. A fraudulent sales scam. I was told I was eligible for a free iPhone for the cost of the taxes, so I ordered it. Oh, good. Let's see what happened. This is an example of kind of what those fake offers that we were saying. Okay, so I was told I was eligible for a free iPhone for the cost of taxes, so I ordered it. When it arrived, I was told they had sent the wrong phone, and they sent a barcode to send it back. So I did. When I didn't receive the correct phone, that's why I knew I'd been duped. Spent many hours on the phone with AT&T. They explained the phone had actually shipped to someone in New York. I needed to file a fraud report, so I did a fraud department. Since I agreed to order a phone, there was no fraud, and I was now liable for all charges on a phone I don't have. I'm not sure if I understand the flow of that scam completely, but notice how he said that he was told by the fraud department that it's not considered fraud because he ordered the phone and then sent it to the scammer. That's how these victims lose their money. They think that the bank has their money insured, but they don't realize that the bank and companies don't consider this fraud. They consider it a scam. You were tricked into withdrawing that money, then you sent it to somebody. Somebody didn't log into your account and take it. You withdrew it yourself, and then you sent it to somebody. And the banks don't cover that. They don't consider that a fraud. It's a completely different thing to them. And that's what happened in this person's case. He was tricked into purchasing a phone, and then he shipped the phone to somebody. He shipped the phone to somebody, or he scanned a barcode that sent it to somebody. I would love to know more details about this scam. If anybody's watching and has more details, wants to break it down a little bit, that'd be great. But interesting. You know, at the end of the day, it just goes to show anything that sounds too good to be true. A free iPhone, right? What's interesting is, so he said just for the cost of taxes. So the guy paid taxes, but he still received the phone, which was interesting. Because he figured he would just get scammed out of taxes and never get the phone. But it sounds like, so he scammed him out of taxes, but he still received the phone. When it arrived, I was told I sent the wrong phone, and they sent a barcode to send it back. And the barcode, however, they sent it back. Oh, okay. I think I get what happened here. They basically had the guy order a phone for them. He thought he was dealing with AT&T. He was dealing with a scammer. And the scammers had him order this phone from AT&T. And then when he received it, they gave him a barcode that was supposed to send it back to AT&T, but it actually gets sent to the scammers. Then when he calls AT&T to complain, AT&T's like, hey, well, you purchased the phone and then you sent it to the scammer, so that's your problem. And he lost the money that. So he lost the taxes and I guess the cost of the phone. Anyway, interesting scam. I don't want to drag out too long because I don't know the details 100%. But, you know, there's no free. You always be suspicious of any free offers like that. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. Received an email subject. You successfully bought digital currency. Attached to the email was a GIF file. The email reads, hello, consistency is part of our commitment to you. We welcome your feedback and are here to assist as needed. Please find the attached file for your reference. And it gets cut off, so I don't have the details. It sounds to me like there's a fake order notification. He gets a fake order, and it says to call this number to dispute it, and they probably calls a scammer. Here's one. Government imposter scam. The email and link looked just like ID.me from the government, but I decided to double check the email address. It was id.me.live. I then opened a new window and typed in id.me, which has no .live on it, and neither did any of its links. Closed window, deleted email, and I am reporting it to you. It was very, very good looking. I might have missed it if I was at home and tired and not at work. Yeah, so these scammers, you have to be careful with these websites because they'll do that. They'll create these fake websites that just have like one character off, and you won't realize that's misspelled. Or they'll reverse two letters, or in this case, it was a different extension. They used a .me.live instead of .me, and those could all redirect the fake websites. There used to be this trick that scammers would use back in the day. I'm sure they still use it today, but you could purchase a .co domain name, .co. And what they would do is they would create websites that looked identical to the .com version of the website. So if somebody mistyped the website and they left off the M at the end, they actually get directed a completely fake website at .co. So we know as scammers, they register domains and website names like that. So always double check the website you're on and make sure it's real. The real website. It's not a trick from a scammer. This is a good one. All right, here we are. Scammer left phone message. I ordered something from Walmart for $1,537. I needed to contact them. Yeah, it's probably the example we played for you earlier, right? That fake order notification. You get the phone call, says you purchased a PlayStation from Walmart. Call back this number. None of it's true, but you call back the number, you connect to the scammer. So that one's still floating around. That one was reported a couple days ago. All right, here we are. DMV, final notice. Enforcement begins September 11th. Our records indicate that as of today. So let's see, is this going to be an unpaid road toll or a traffic ticket? Traffic ticket. Our records indicate that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket pursuant to Texas Administrative Code, blah, blah, blah. If you fail to pay by September 10th, we will take the following actions. This is where they try to threaten and scare you. They'll report to the Texas DMV violation database to suspend your vehicle registration, suspend your driving privileges for 30 days, pay a 35% service fee at toll booths. You'll be prosecuted and your credit score will be affected. And it says pay now, and they put the fake website there to pay. Please pay immediately before enforcement begins to avoid license suspension and further legal trouble. So, but it's a scam. And what's interesting about this is, I believe this all started off with those unpaid toll scams and it evolved into this traffic ticket scam. I think it's the same groups, the same organizations. They just used AI to switch the text around and now they claim it's a traffic ticket. So watch out for any text messages claiming you have an unpaid toll or a traffic ticket. Because we know scammers are doing that, and here's a report from somebody just from the other day. Scammer presented as loving older woman on dating website. Oh, good. Let's see this one. By the way, as we go through these, let me know in the chat that you're watching. I want to hear your stories. Were you ever targeted with these types of scams or know someone who was? Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Help us spread awareness. Like, subscribe, follow. It all helps. Let's see. Scammer presented as loving older woman on dating website for older people. Pretended to go to Paris on business and requested funds for expenses. Purported to live on Nantucket, but checking with the police department revealed no one in Massachusetts with that name in any municipality. I would have liked to get more information from them, but that's common. It's how these romance scams work. You meet somebody on a dating website. AI makes it very believable now. They generate videos and pictures, and you think you're talking to a real person. And then eventually they come up with some emergency or reason. Can you help me? I need money. I'm in Paris on business. I'm stuck, or something like that. By the way, there's a great series that was just released on Netflix, and it's by the woman from the Tinder Swindler documentary. For anybody that's seen the Tinder Swindler, one of the women that helped track that guy down, or who was scammed by that guy. There's a new series out, and she goes around helping romance scam victims. It's pretty cool series. It's on Netflix, and it's interesting. And it starts out, it's got a lot of women victims, but it also has men victims too. So everybody's, in fact, the last stat I remember seeing, it actually said more they said more women actually fall for these romance scams than men, which was surprising. I could be wrong, though. It was an older stat. Anyway, let's keep going here. Online relationship scam. Scammer liked me on a dating site for older clients. So I wonder if this person had the same experience here. Maybe get some more detail. Nah, barely any info. A dating site for older clients. That started a conversation which progressed over about a month into a heartfelt love. And she gives no more details. Okay. Health-related scam. Oh, good. Let's see what this one's about. Got a call from Express Scripts that they needed some information about one of my medications. They left the number to call them back. This is not the number to Express Scripts, and the representative confirmed they did not call me. They had my name when they called. Ah, that's interesting. The first time I hear about this one. Interesting. So, looks like the scammers are calling up. I would love to find out what information they were going to try to get from this person. This might have actually been a Medicare scam. They might have been trying to get his Medicare number. I know that's very common. You need to be very careful with any unsolicited phone calls that claim to be your doctor or pharmacy. There's been a lot of medical breaches lately, insurance company breaches, hospital breaches, doctor breaches. Like, it's been really bad as far as people's medical information getting stolen and available on a dark web. United Healthcare got breached last year, and it was one of the largest breaches in the country. Like, almost everybody's health information was exposed, including medications and pharmacy and doctor and all the stuff that this guy's describing was used against him in this scam. So, yeah, any phone calls related to medical, claiming to be an insurance company or even your doctor's office. We know that the scammers, they're showing your doctor's phone number on your caller ID when they call you, and they're impersonating your doctor's office. And they're saying, "Hey, I need your Medicare number." But yeah, you can't trust it. You got to hang up and then call back your doctor directly or call up your insurance company directly. But yeah, this is interesting though. This is the first time I'm hearing about someone claiming to be the pharmacy and or claiming to be Express Scripts and claiming they need information. So that's a good one. Be alert for it. Watch out. See what other reports we got here. Here we go. Publishing Clearinghouse. This is a lottery or a free prize scam. Let's see. Publishers Clearinghouse call. They called and left a message that I had won $7,000 weekly set for life prize in a 2025 Mercedes-Benz. Callback number was, and to ask for Robert Rickman. And she doesn't give any more details. See, I would love to get more details about how this went down, but yeah. Publishers Clearinghouse is very popular for scammers to impersonate them when they're targeting you with a prize scam. And what they'll do is they'll say they have to pay taxes or fees first, and they'll steal that money, or they'll trick you into giving your bank account details to receive a deposit or whatever the case. But yeah, you have to be very careful. Anybody calling you up to claim they're with Publishers Clearinghouse, it's a very common scam. Fraudulent sales scam. Text about Apple account charge. I do not have an Apple account. All right, so this is a good example. This is probably the text message that we showed you earlier when we were talking about these fake order scams, right? You get a text message, claims to be from Apple, claims that a purchase was made under your Apple account, and they try to trick you into calling back a number to dispute it. The example we showed earlier, here it is right here. It's a text message. It claims to be from Apple. Claims $143 payment was made. But if you call that number, it's going to be a scammer. So, yeah, so here's somebody reporting that same scam is still active. That's why we cover it. It's a popular one. And that one was reported on the 8th. So we're back, 3 days ago now instead of 2. Hey, if you're just joining us, still time to click that like button. We're going to be live streaming for maybe about another 10 minutes or so here. We're going over some scams that have recently been reported in the past few days to AARP. And see if there's anything we need to warn you about here. You can help. Click that like button, click subscribe, click follow. We need all the new subscribers and followers we could get. Let us know in the chat what you want to hear about, how you found out about us. We're streaming live. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness about scams. Make sure to join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. And we'll send you reminders when we're live streaming. But let's continue. Let's take a look at a few more reports here on the AARP Scam Tracker website. Call received stating a credit card with an amount of $5,000 was applied for at, I'm going to say as Target. The caller had last 4 digits of my social security number and a different address of my residence. They said they were from an Experian call center. The name was Darcy Miller and Brian, senior account person, and they gave him a reference number. We'd love to know more details about how that scam went. But notice how the caller said that they had the last 4 digits of his social security number. That goes back to what we were talking about, how these scammers, they know things about you because they've breached third-party services and they've gotten your information. They said they were from an Experian call center. And by the way, they got breached too. There was a recent breach of... before I say who it is, let me go verify who it was. Give me 1 second. It's a recent one. I think it was a TransUnion. So Equifax got breached years ago. So, and then who Equifax is, those are these credit agencies. There's Equifax, there's TransUnion, and there's Experian. There are 3 major credit reporting agencies. They have tons of our data, our buying habits, our credit card details, all the stuff about us, all our personal financial credit details, right? And Equifax got breached a couple years ago. And recently, let me see, was it, yeah, TransUnion. So TransUnion recently got breached this year. And it says, here, in fact, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll bring up the article. Because we don't talk about this enough. And it's important that people are aware of what a serious problem this is. I'm not going to load. Bueller. Come on. Give me 404. Let's see what comes up. Let's see if we get lucky if it comes up. Yeah, here we go. Cool. TransUnion breach exposes personal data of 4.4 million Americans. By the way, that pop-up I just got is because I'm running an ad blocker and it's blocking a bunch of their ads. It's a malware ad blocker. Blocks some of them. Not all of them, apparently. But anyway, yeah, TransUnion got breached. 4.4 million Americans. Our personal data is out there now. Or it was, but now it's out there even more. This report's from September 5th. So this is brand new. It's just getting reported on. But the incident happened. It began, it says, back in July 28th. So we'll say August, September. So it was, that's less than 2 months ago. Yeah, it's less than 2 months ago. It's like 6 weeks or so ago. So they got breached. And now all our information is out there even more. Let's see. TransUnion told regulated companies stressed that core credit database and credit reports were not compromised. Right, but let's see what was. They're going to be like, oh, it wasn't compromised, but they still got your information. The incident appears to be linked to a wave of cyber attacks targeting third-party Salesforce applications. Yeah, that was a big breach. And then in 2017, credit reporting agency Equifax got breached. So that's 2 out of 3 that got breached so far. And our credit information got stolen from. Anyway, so expect scams and scammers to be contacting you, impersonating, having all sorts of information about your credit cards, credit details. It's not good. Anyway, the whole reason I got into that is because this person reported that. They said a caller was claiming to be from Experian and had information about him. There's another report about an outstanding traffic ticket, right? You get these text messages. It seems like the outstanding traffic ticket might have replaced the unpaid toll ticket because more people seem to be reporting the traffic one now than the unpaid toll one. The same thing. It's almost identical. It's just they swap out unpaid toll with traffic ticket. So be aware of that one. Any text messages claiming you have an outstanding traffic ticket. Don't click the links. Don't call the phone numbers. Elder scams and fraud. Let's see. Pretending to be me, but using my phone. This is my 4th phone. I've been scammed. My son who handicapped by someone in Cherry Hill. They keep putting their fake licenses on my phone. A city and I don't know. I can't tell what this guy's talking about. Let's see what the next report is. There's a Medicare one. This one's coming from Wayne, the call says came from Wayne, New Jersey. That's right next door where I used to be at. Medicare card color change to gather personal information. Doesn't give much details, but we know about these scams. These scammers, they call up and they say, they say something like you're going to get a new Medicare card and the last for your number, but they're trying to steal your Medicare information. Because once they have your Medicare details, they could file false claims and try to get medical equipment that they could resell or reimbursed for things that they never provided you. It's a big thing, Medicare scams. So never give out your Medicare number over the phone to unsolicited caller. Even if they're claiming to be from your doctor's office, hang up and call your doctor directly. Here we are. The tech support scam. This is one of the scams we talked about earlier when we started the live stream. I keep getting interrupted that my phone has viruses. When I click on it, I am sent to a random site to guard against scams. All right, so this person's just getting fake virus alerts and pop-ups trying to get them to download software, probably a virus. Geek Squad auto renewal scam. Wow, this is this one's been going strong for a while now. This email scam going around that impersonates Geek Squad. And it says that this one says auto renewal. And the examples I've seen, let me see if I can find an example real quick for you. I might not have it right here. Oh, here's the outstanding traffic ticket example, though. You know, since we were talking about that, let me show you real quick. See, so this one again came out of the Philippines, like a lot of people are reporting. And this one, it impersonated the Illinois Department of Vehicles, DMV, right? But what's interesting about this is, here's another example. The text message is literally identical to that, except it says Nebraska instead of Illinois, right? So that's what these scammers do. They're targeting everybody in every state. They're just plugging in different states. And to them, it's a numbers game. They know that eventually they're going to have a hit. Eventually they're going to hit somebody that's actually in that state, and they might even be using some AI and sending it to those phone numbers that show that from their state. By the way, back to this Geek Squad one. I wanted to show you examples of Geek Squad email that's been circulating. Yeah. I think I have it here to show you. Oh well. I'll have it ready for you next week to show you. Oh wait, unless, hold on, do I have it right here? I do. Actually, I got a bunch of good ones to show you here. So that person talked about Coinbase earlier. Yeah, Coinbase email. Here's an example of a fake email. Got sent to me. But it's a scam. It's trying to say confirm your email address. Here we are, Geek Squad. So this is what this guy's reporting right here. Geek Squad billable details. And I received this one earlier in the year. Yeah, so it is a renewal one. So this guy got the same kind of, this is a scam he's reporting. You get an email like this, it says you owe to, what is it? Your selected Geek Squad is honored. It gives us great pleasure to verify that your membership request was handled correctly. Within the next day or two, you'll be able to see the $375.99 membership cost that was charged to the checking account linked to your email address, right? But then it has a number to call, and they're trying to trick you into calling, right? This really didn't happen. There really wasn't a charge. This is just kind of an example of another fake order notification. You're getting notified that renewal went through, and they're trying to trick you into calling this number back. But if you call that number, you get connected to a scammer. And that's what this guy's reporting. It's a Geek Squad all renewal email. So we have that example right there to show you. You know, I think that's a good one to probably wrap this up on. We can go for about 3 hours now. This is a pretty good live stream. lots of good stuff in the ARP scam tracker map that we just went over. So we're going to get this wrapped up. Last chance to click that like button, subscribe, follow. Last chance to help us spread some awareness. Say hi in the comments. Say hi, thank you. Just let us know you're watching. Love to hear from you. And yeah, all good stuff. Another successful weekly scam awareness live stream. If you just joined us late, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our mission is to spread awareness about scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, your loved ones, right? And that's what we do every week. Part of that mission is to do this weekly live stream where we share examples of scams and warn you about the common scams that are circulating. And the idea is to help you identify and avoid becoming a victim to these scams. So that's our mission. And you could help by clicking that like button, following, subscribing. Check out the videos we have on YouTube. Right? Follow us on Facebook. We're on all your favorite social media platforms: YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. Make sure to join our free mailing list. Go to scamaware101.com and click Join Mailing List. It's free to join. We'll send you reminders when we're going live and other useful scam awareness tips. You can unsubscribe at any time, but we won't send you a bunch of junk mail, I promise. So scamaware101.com, hit Join Mailing List. And if you want to help out financially, we'll take donations too. You go to scamaware101.com/donate. Or you could do the YouTube Super Thanks. We have memberships enabled too. And you could also visit our merchandise store. It's on our YouTube channel, or we have the link at the bottom of our site. You could help support us by buying some coffee mugs and some other useful scam awareness items. So all good stuff. And with that said, that's about it for this week's live stream. We'll be back again next week, Thursday, 5:45 p.m. And thank you to everybody who attended the live stream. We appreciate you. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Stay safe. Thanks again for watching. And now, bear with me as I shut down all these live streams. Sometimes it takes a minute.